game already to start things off of the entire Contenders series. Could we end up with that again? Time will only tell. Now, MYM, again, they consistently went for military base, and then yesterday, they just went, nope, we're going to completely change it up. Is that what's going to happen again? They're still in the plane as of now.
Well, I mean, the plane is allowing for them to go military, so wouldn't expect them to go anywhere but that. There are some other teams, though, trying to see if they can do some change-ups. We do see Swarm going back towards Yasnaya, Wizards joining them as well, so still the split going on there. ELGIGANTEN will take their eastern split as well. Also a team that... ELGIGANTEN, I've casted them for a long time. They've played together for a long time as well. Very, very capable players. They've just also been in one of those situations where they lose that one guy on the first rotation or second rotation, or they try to push in on a fight. It works for them, but they lose one guy, which technically isn't the worst thing, but then they have to play the remainder of the game with just 3 guys alive, and it becomes hard. What?
I'm worried about Asverin.
Yeah.
he may have clocked on that his team have gone where they usually go, and he's now jumped in and gone, this is an error.
I think.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, because there's only 63 people in the plane now.
Right.
Oh, no, he's back. He's back. He's in the border. There you go. Hopefully that means that everyone's here. We'll have to wait and see. But look at this. I mean, Team Unique, they're split in between the guys from Desperado. Circle does send up. Honestly, not a whole lot to it. You do have the River Center in play, but rotation opportunities for everyone. Only thing here, you want to go center early. There's already a river, but as we can see as well, around that circle center, Rozhok School Apps, we've talked about it so many times, because you have Logipov and the boys from that team in the middle of everything, makes it so much harder for teams to rotate in.
Now, one thing we're seeing again, and this is the change that KEBAB'S made yesterday, they are sticking together a little bit more. Okay, Mr. Unseen's a little bit further away, Efsa's taking his own corner, but this is something that I can deal with, right? This is the position they can have. And there's good old Asverin. He's just chilling, going for a bit of a swim. He's like, you know what? It's game 1. I wanted to cool off because I felt warm. I felt the pressure yesterday, so I'm just going to chill, and I'm going to go for a little dive across. But he is getting shot at here, which is less than ideal. Oh, damn it. And that's not going to be a res anytime soon, so he goes straight down. Sinks to the bottom of the ocean. He'll be drowning out. And that'll be the first kill of the game. That's not the way you want to see it. And that's not the start that AVANGAR needed at all.
Not at all. Unfortunate start of the game. We talked about yesterday in game 1 how they did lose. I think it was Maxis on that first rotation to Wizards around the northern side. That kept them from playing that aggressive style we'd like to see them do. Once they had the 4th guy alive in game 2, they started plowing people on over. And now having lost one, that might force them to once again do things a little more passively.
And that's kind of one of the things we really now start to worry about with AVANGAR, right? Okay, we're getting on now. It's day 3. They've already had a few rough games. They're not in the placement points that people may have expected them, especially both of us. We expect them, spoke quite highly of them. It's not kind of been working out from here. Soon enough, they need to come back into this.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But a team that indeed has been in the mix, I don't think they've had a single, or maybe one game out of the first 8 outside of top 6, I want to say. I mean, QUICKMATH, they have been a positive surprise to me, playing extremely well. Same thing here in final the games of yesterday. BESIKTAS getting their loot game going, and Pachinki will have plenty of opportunities as far as rotations go. Question for them is going to be, do they want to go over the river, maybe on the western side by Ruins? Or do they want to stick to the southern side? Might just have to opt to stick around on the south because, well, I mean, if next circle guarantees whether it's going to go north or south, rather make the rotation there than try and sort of cram your way in between teams now and then have to make long rotations after.
Oh, yes, that indeed. Now, we were talking about the team that's on your screens now, Find a Home, and they are a team that we certainly went, okay, look, we need to see them a little bit more action from them. It needs to step up a little bit more. They have had moments, though, where we look at them and go, look, this is what we want to see. This is how it's supposed to be played. But it's more, they've just been getting caught off. Like, I saw Lipsing going in for quite a few duels yesterday and then getting picked off early. He was the man, like, he was trying to make something happen, but maybe the teamwork wasn't there at times for these guys.
One thing that I like is nobody's looting North George, per se. Rita and We Need a Home, they looted South George yesterday and the day before. And now with no one in North George, like, well, I mean, it doesn't really matter where we go. We have the entirety of the Georgeville side of things to ourselves. Look at the western side of the map, too. Of course, the circle has sent it up, but there's no one down here. Plane didn't really allow for them to get out there either. You see, Unique being the furthest western team took them a while to get here, too. But now rotations are coming in, and for BESIKTAS, they didn't want to stick around and wait for the circle. They're moving early, and they're going out east.
Yeah, BESIKTAS as well. Okay, 2 great games yesterday. ERANGEL, we want to see what they can do this time around. Now they're certainly feeling a bit more confident. You can see it in their play style. But I want to know what's going to happen here when they push forward, because there's quite a few teams in the direction they're heading to.
Broken trying to see if he can land some shots over towards Alamo on the northwestern side of the water here. I want to say Miramar, because that's you know, sounds good, but I don't think that's how I pronounce his name. But nonetheless, he's trying to see if he can lay low. Metralius, on the other hand, he's in the middle of a street shooting at people, so he's not laying low at all.
Yeah, Metralius is out in the open saying, hey, come and get some, I'm ready for it. But I do worry about him if another squad comes on. He's already getting some shots fired off towards him, so he's playing a little bit of the ducking and diving, the weaving, the bobbing, and Desperados. I've seen this too many times from you.
Yeah.
Come on, let's be a little bit more sensible with the vehicle plays.
Honestly, that's exactly what you're saying. You don't do it. I mean, it's going to cost you so much in the end. Reciprocity, oh my god, they're in issues early on once again. Rafi already eliminated, Hacks already taken out, and for Scoom and Shift, now they have to figure out how they're going to do this, because this is not going to be easy at all. Just 2 guys remaining. Shift is locked down inside a shack, and Scoom is running around in apps without any sort of chance to help him out.
Yeah, too far away. Shiv's pinned down as well. Nicely done as T-Bone. He's managed to take on Z-Stars from Elgig, sorry. Wizards again. We're always seeing them early on within the top, like, before we even get down to 50s, right? And we're seeing them come into the fray, come in and get these kills, and that is where they are always willing to take the fights. They just need that big win.
I've heard of having a Thorn in your heel, but I've never heard of having a Wizard in your heel. Honestly, ELGIGANTEN, I think 3 out of the 4 games they've lost a guy early, Wizards were the guys to take one out. It happened twice yesterday, and now it happened again, and we've also seen it once on the Miramar game where O'Connell got a kill from really far away. So Wizards, they really got the hold down on ELGIGANTEN.
Yeah, and this is where some of the action is going to be starting to kick off. Both Wizards and Elgig looking at each other. Arrows on the heavy fire. They can see the damage raining in. The smoke's going to give him a little bit of cover. Dice is coming up to give him some backup as well. T-Bone's there at the same time, just a little bit further away. But they've got this kind of covered behind the hay barrels. Can they try and make this work? Deeg's playing the long-range game, but they still need to be careful. Both T-Bone and O'Connell have been so good from what I've been seeing from these guys. These guys are scary. If I saw them, I'd be running the other way.
Very talented bunch for sure. See Deeks here with the off-angle position, trying to see if he can spot some hits. Not going to have an Elias head, though. Very much popped off. I believe it's one of the BESIKTAS players that took him out just before. Yep, you see Tommel shooting down there up towards, trying to get the shots through the smoke. No finish-offs coming in just that, though.
We've got to talk about this from BESIKTAS as well. They're the ones that moved up from kind of the southwest area, right? They went right in between 3 different teams, and they've now already grabbed themselves a compound. This is huge movements from them once again. Impressive.
Very much so. We talk about how these center positions were hard to obtain. Now they've gotten themselves into a good spot. They're close to the river, and that's what you want to do here early on. You need to find yourself a spot where you are close to the river so you can cut across quickly once that next circle pops.
Like you just said, though, right? Hard to obtain, and they just made it look easy.
Yeah. I mean, they did. They committed to it, and they all went there together. That's what you've got to do, and that, well, it worked out.
Realistically, though, they were in vehicles, they were making noise. There should have been some sort of challenge coming around them. The other teams were all busy. Reciprocity, they had to go past, were already engaged in a fight. And already we're seeing Desperado start to head over to Wizards now. The fight is going to soon be kicking off as we take a look at one of the crates down on the floor, but people aren't going to be bothering with it just yet. And this fight is very much large and in charge. Desperados, they've grabbed themselves from ground, they've pushed themselves forward, and they're going to try and keep Wizards at bay for a little bit longer by applying this additional pressure. You can see the shots going off, and O'Connell has no other option than to fall back just yet, because him and O'Connell need to get back with the rest of their team. They can't take this challenge just yet.
They are on a wide 2-2 split, and there's no way for Arrows and Dice to help them out should they be full-on committed to the push. So smart disengage from T-Bone and O'Connell there to get the way over towards the teammates. New circle is going to pop in just a short moment's time as well. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not it's going to confirm whether we're going north or south of the river.
Now, we did also just see on the screen when the map came up very quickly there that actually AVANGAR, they had a player drop down early on. They lost him. It was unfortunate for Asvarin, but they are going through the complete north rotation. Right down from the south, they're going to go the whole way around and try and grab some control. Now, in this time, Dicer, he's gone down, called them in to say, hey, we are going to take this fight to you. You guys think you can be the heavy hitters here. We're going to be the ones doing the damage as Aros gets knocked as well, and this is not looking good for Wizards. And this is a problem. Wizards need these points. They're happy to go for these engagements, but at times, they don't back away.
At the same time, though, Desperado, they cannot overcommit to this. Sure, it's good. It's great to get those kill points. You got yourself one. Now get in your vehicle and get going, because this circle we saw just before, it did indeed confirm that it's going to go north, and these guys are very far off. They need to start rotating right now, because there are not a lot of positions to take up there. If you're a team that comes in just a little too late, we're talking 5 to 10 seconds later, there's going to be nowhere for you to lay low up here.
Now, what Unique go through their rotation. They're going to be coming all the way around the side of Pachinki. Give them some room to work with here. then they're not going to be challenged just yet. MYM are kind of just about behind them, but it's not really a scary place for them. They're all just trying to get themselves around. Severny, where QUICKMATH started, has been looted and abandoned. That means other teams could slip into it. We're still seeing Wizards and Desperados taking this battle, waiting a lot of time. And actually, Desperados, okay, we did say that they should probably try and just fall back now, don't over-challenge, but they're going in for this. They're hungry for the kills, hungry for the points. Aros comes in, but his position was known, and he goes down, and Desperados are saying, hey, anything you can do, we can do better.
I think what happened was that they noticed Eros run back inside that shack. They saw the vehicles drive off, and they're like, wait, they didn't leave him a vehicle, did they? So they knew he was going to be trapped there, had a 4v1 advantage, and they just utilized it. But now they really need to start getting going, because as you can see further on the left on your screen, BESIKTAS there up here, got DASTISH and Unity making their move over towards the side of things either. And, well, for anyone coming late, as I said before, there's just not a lot of places to take up there, especially not when teams are splitting in the north side of things. You got Insolenzo up there splitting out. You got other teams in the splits as well, and they're taking whatever is available for compounds.
Well, Sweaty Nerds could be gifted a crate very close to them, and they do want to go and get it. Let's see what's inside of it. We've got the AWM, which is really nice. Got the, obviously, level 3s and the good old ghillie suit if anyone wants to jump in and try and use that to their advantage. Now, one thing we've got to say, right, and you just mentioned it there, with these rotations coming in fast, the reason this is faster than normal rotations we see is because, like you said, there's limited positions where these teams can go. They need to find themselves a spot before it's all taken. They're going to have to take some engagements here, so I'm expecting some big fights to kick off pretty damn soon.
Main thing here is that if this next circle shifts out of Severny, pretty much no matter where it goes, it'll for sure benefit the people that are already going to be in.
Yeah.
But for anyone else trying to get to that spot, it's going to be really hard to find anything that you can get without having to force a fight. And that's when you're going to see those third parties coming in. That's when you're going to see those fights that people really don't want to take, but will be forced to take because, well, there's not a whole lot to play for.
Now look at this, right? Unique, they've gone and pushed themselves, started to go in, they've gone over the water, while MYM are going the long way round, pushing all the way up to the north, going to go towards at least around shooting range and Severny here. So they're taking a different approach. That means they've bypassed each other. Well, now we also saw Reciprocity on the screen there while you were talking. And one thing they're doing, we say how they love to try and play for that center circle. Now they're down 2 men already, not ideal for them. You'll watch them play very back of this circle, chill out a little bit, and say, okay, if we can just pick off some kills, stay alive, play the long game here.
Every time Reciprocity has been on a rough spot and they've been on the edge of the circle, they've got insane hard shifts towards them. So it would be fun to see if they're going to get one more circle. It's going to pop, and nope, not this time, Scoom. Not going to happen. You do have to make your way over the other side of the pond, and you can see it right here. You have the double compounds on the southwestern side of the new circle and a few houses in the south, but other than that, there's really only, I can count up 3, maybe 4 potential spots to go for, and we have got a total of 6 teams outside the circle. Severny, sure, you can go there, but that's going to be a last resort for everyone. It's already on the edge, so it's just, I mean, this circle, I mean, we're going to see that chaos circle. You normally get circle 6. It's going to happen circle 4, circle 5 this time around.
Now, Wizards abandoned their vehicles, went for the little long-range push round, and what's happened is Desperados have bypassed them in their own vehicles. Obviously, higher number advantage here, but the good thing here for Desperados, they're just behind everyone. So Team KEBAB'S there, you've got also AVANGAR close by, ELGIG as well. So there's an option here for them to take some high ground and see what they can do to snipe in on anyone else out there.
Anyone forced to take these fights in the open or forced to stop in the open, those vehicles will be gone, those smokes will be gone, and you still have, well, potentially 4 to 5 more circles to play, so good luck with that. MEETYOURMAKERS goes down. DASTISH gets himself the knock on towards him. Not sure if he's going to be able to finish it off. There is quite a bit of distance down towards him. Looks like Test will be able to go down and get the rest on up. Ben and company from Sweaty Nerds, they did manage to get themselves the AWM. And who better to put it into? Who better's hands to put it into than Andy? But now you see Unity. They got the knock on to 1, and they're going to full on commit to the Elmo.
Yeah, Unity want to try and get in there and finish this off. And this is, again, is VENKONAS, who have not had the greatest start to the tournament thus far. He will probably be finished off as soon as he's found. He can only hide for so long, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Orange Snow's going to find it. And Unity, again, right, they're a team that are always finding themselves within these fights. They're always finding themselves in some nice spots, and they're quite happy to just give up ground where needed and play more together as a team. That's what their kind of winning factors have been.
I'm thinking Orange Snow, that's when you don't drink enough water, right? just the name, you know?
I know what Yellow Snow is. Orange Snow, I've not had that one yet, but Orange Snow maybe he's making his own. He's had a bit too much energy drinks for him.
There you go. You see up on the northern side of things too in Severny. 2 teams did commit to that one. MEETYOURMAKERS have taken the southwestern barn. And also you have the likes of, I believe, that to be looking for a team, yep, sitting up on the southern side of the church area. So 2 teams already up there, but as you said, that's on the far northern side of things. Could very well be shifted out from it just a moment's time. And believe me, One thing is crashing into Severny, that's doable, but if those vehicles are popped, getting out of there is going to be one hell of a, well, swear word show, because it's a very long run out in the open.
Yeah, and that's what they want to try and avoid. MWM got themselves nicely in a good spot just towards the south of Severny, but they're very close to a couple of other teams now. Flowy's taking his time, right? He's up on the other side. He's giving them a bit of a waiting game here. But this is where Swarm have to be oh so careful.
Yep, have to play it safe, has to play it smart. We'll see if they'll be able to stick around for a little while longer, or if this circle will go elsewhere. It's just about to pop, and down south we go. There's not a single compound to play around anymore. You have the southern house in the Wizard, but it's going to be hard to get down there with teams already making their way down there. Unique seem to want to spread out and get that 2-2 split going down there as well. But look at the northern side of things. There's a lot of teams going to be fighting, and it's all going to be in the open.
Now, you said about reciprocity, right, getting on that circle luck. This time around, it moves in their favor. And they are actually, if they did just work their way up north, obviously they don't know this, but there is an abandoned compound they could try and hold on to for a little bit. And that's something they would desperately need because they're so heavily outnumbered.
One thing I'm looking at here is how QUICKMATH is split 2-2. They need to start getting together. They know for a fact, okay, it's an open circle. We have two at the best positions in the circle, and we're sitting with two guys in each one of them. People will push down on us, and they will do it very shortly. So sitting in a potentially a 2-1-1 split, actually, is maybe a bit greedy.
This is not good, though. Desperado rolls straight past AVANGAR. Cold Mentor blown to smithereens. While Unity, they've been able to find some of the fight here. They're going to be taking it on to BESIKTAS. Can they hold on, though? A lot of damage being done there by Tizerin, but he couldn't find the knocks. And this is what can happen, right? If you hold on to those cars for too long, you go for a straight run. And oh, it's not working out for Desperados whatsoever. The vehicles are exploding everywhere. Calvin Klein jumps out, does get a finish. Can he do any more damage? He's going to be knocked and straight away finished by a completely different team. It's going on like crazy.
Looking for a team doing what they can to stay alive with a little help from teams around them. They do manage to do so as well. Desperado will be the first team eliminated in 16th place. So just like we saw yesterday, they had that one rough game, then came back and did better the following game. So we'll see the following 3 games how well they can perform. They're unique, very much aware that VENKONAS are sitting inside the gas station. Oh, and there he goes, standing, getting a little pop to the head.
Now, AVANGAR, they worked themselves out a nice spot there. Now they're going to actually come away from the circle, get it back in their vehicles and rotate round. Unique's going to try and hold on to this, see what they can do, get the rest of the players up, get themselves in a good position. They're already within the circle. But they do need to be a little bit cautious. They've made that noise now, and Reciprocity are not too far away from them. VENKONAS, again, we've got Test on your screen. They're being pushed up massively. This isn't looking good once again. These guys can't seem to catch a break, and he's only got the Mac Daddy to work with. Can he get it done? The Uzi to spray it out. Is it going to be enough? Nice.
What? Oh my God! What?
What just happened?
He got the knock with the nade, and then he took down 2 more with 1 spray of an Uzi. What the hell?
That should never happen. The
I
run
don't
and
even
gun.
think he realized what happened before they were both knocked, and now we have the last player just forced to make the leap for it. Orange though saying, well, that didn't go as we were planning. I've never seen a hold-off like that with an Uzi before, but holy moly, that extended mag came into play.
And that is one of the top teams going down in 15th place. This is where the action starts to unfold. And my, oh my, Test is going to be dreaming about that for the longest time. What a play. And with that weapon as well, the great nade coming in. Good stuff from him as Deegs from ELGIG. He's going to be able to take down Hugstar, oh sorry, Drone Transporter there. He's going to go and take a little pot shot onto the P6. Look to do some more damage as well. He's just hiding behind the rock.
Deeks is all that's left for his team right now. He really wants to get the rest, but that's going to be too little too late. You have Broken on the outside of the house, and also you can see they're not inside the circle just yet, driving around inside the warehouse here. You see already a lot of damage coming in, forced outside. Now trying to see if he can get the finish off onto Broken. He's not going to be able to do it. Lhasa, though, will.
Yeah, Lars are able to get that done. Nice bit of damage to come out towards them. They're going to really struggle to get out of this. Deegs goes down to the circle as he's getting tagged up at the same time. Avoids being a kill point, though, so that's one positive out of it. Apocalypse trying to hide in the smoke. The shots are coming out towards him. Drops another one. He needs to find some serious cover right now because he's under heavy artillery fire.
See, QUICKMATH, they're still split the same way they were before, and I think right now the issues come down to them simply not being able to rotate towards each other. Their vehicles could be broken at this point because there's been so many people shooting pretty much right around their heads, and for them to make this push now might just be a bit too dangerous, but they are in a very, very, very sort of scary split right now.
AVANGAR just holding on. In a good spot to get a lot of information, right? Their position is going to be known because it's very obvious the fact their cars have been stacked up there. Reciprocity still in the fray, still finding themselves a way into this. With just 2 players alive, they can try and get on a third party and do some damage. O'Connell is a man you want to still be very, very cautious of here, because it doesn't matter that Wizards have only got 2 players. He's looking to do some damage. That nade's going to go out. Tomil needs to be ever so cautious. Lux is just on the other side. Could this nade do further damage there? Does pop. Managing just about to miss it. He comes out into the open. O'Connell goes in for the shots, but it's not going to connect just yet.
That one though, 261 damage per day. Now everyone's going down. There's simply not a lot to take. And that's going to be it. That's going to be 2 players down. We talked about this just before. It was just a matter of time before somebody would pull up on that yellow house. It was going to be the guys from Sweaty Nerds, and they did do so in the end. Got themselves a compound and stayed alive as well. Swarm though, not quite so. All of them going down, and now we're going miles out into the open with not a lot of things to play around.
Now, you spoke about this already, but we need a home up. We're still with 4 players on your screen. We've got the players alive tab added. This is a start for them that they would massively want to hold on to. It's been a long time since we've been able to say this about them. In a positive situation, as we get down to the last 10 teams, Wizards have been eliminated. They tried to hold on with 2 players, but it wasn't meant to be.
What is it with MFS running around all by himself and just spraying at people? I mean, he's not scared at all. Like to see it. Can come to cost him sometimes, but now unseen on the other side. Tries to do some damage. It's going to be MFS, though. The Thralius goes down. Are they aware, though, they have 2 players inside the shack?
Oh, wow. MFS doing damage long range. Can he now work out what's going on around him? Spots them out, sees their heads. Smoke goes out towards him. It's going to try and give those guys some cover to move out. MFS, though, doesn't have a grenade to flush him out with, and a nade comes out his way, finishes him off, and the KEBAB'S, they get splattered out of nowhere.
Apocalypse, perfect timing, throws the nade, turns around, gets the finish up on the other guy, and that's just not a whole lot you can do from there. Very, very well done. And look at Lux, so far outside the circle, all by himself. Once it connects, there's no saving grace. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to go further away from him as well, so more damage will be done, and there you go. He does go out. So BESIKTAS out in 9th place there. Not a whole lot more they could do. And look at this now. You got 3 players alive from Sweaty Nerds taking the center position. They committed to it. They said this is an all or nothing kind of play. They got it all. Now they got the center spot in the circle too. But look at this nade coming down. Oh, how did that not become a triple kill? They're going to get the explosion vehicles now. Yep, there you go. That's 1 down.
Great use of the grenades here. We need a home. They did have 4 players alive. Make that 3. Potentially more going down as well as Unique start to jump over. Lipson's going to be finished off by Ubica. This is not good whatsoever. AVANGAR long ranging it up as well. But this is really nice from Play With Me. Long range, getting it done. AVANGAR very much out in the open. They can't save their fallen comrades either.
And this is this area of the map. I mean, you have X amount of trees, but that tree is only going to cover you from so many angles. Now, you see the nades are starting to come in return, and for We Need a Home, they need to do something aggressive here. I mean, those vehicles are blown up. Everybody knows where they are. They are inside the circle. And actually, oh, one vehicle that isn't blown up is taken into use now. They'll start driving down Smashway, trying to make it down to his teammate, but down he goes, unfortunately. Not a whole lot more he can do from that spot. And I'm starting to wonder who was shooting at him.
Yeah, I think that was coming down from the AVANGAR guys. Yeah, I believe it was AVANGAR. They now start to push in. They're hungry to try and get these frags here. Is this going to be possible? Rita trying to hold on. Oh, and it's a run over. You hate to see it, but he gets both of them. Max Azor's like, give me those kill points. I'm getting on this scoreboard some way, somehow. And he's actually pushed himself into the circle with Snoopy just alongside him.
That is...
QUICKMATH are still up, so they lost 2 players early on, but 2 are still alive. And actually, it's been a very quiet game for them, but they're still within the top 6.
That's the thing they can do. They will not take those fights unless if they're absolutely forced to. Very, very well at doing their QUICKMATH, and that's how they make it to the late game every single time.
Just that noise, by the way, is scary. If you're anyone else on the map and you know he's already got 1 kill, he's looking for more, and you're thinking, I don't want to step out into that. There's not enough places for me to hide, and he's obviously feeling very, very confident.
Maxi does go down to OU, who secured himself to finish off underneath the Dasha there. Not a whole lot more he could do, unfortunately. Jupsik trying to come down to get some more cover with the vehicles. He had the US soldiers there, but now, as you can hear, Andy obviously having heard that they are on the other side. Not sure those nades can go far enough, though.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit more is all they need. Shots are all coming in. QUICKMATH are heavily under pressure and under fire. 20 Nerds have got themselves in such a nice spot as well, having the building to work around. He's literally just all around them.
Yeah.
All going down, not quite reaching them.
Pinkman wants to throw it down there as well. Not quite far enough either, though. QUICKMATH right now at least in a good spot. New circle's going to pop, though, and they will have to move. Not sure where they're planning on going, but it's going to be a tough choice no matter what they do.
Sweaty Nerds are in such a good position.
Yeah.
The circle's worked out for them. They rotated themselves the way around. They've got themselves some good work in there as well. BenQ now on a rampage gets himself his 5th kill. So this could be the game where we see Sweaty Nerds step it up.
And they will have to. I mean, they have everything at their feet right now, technically. They have a good spot. They can hold off the people coming in from the north. They know they have 2 solos on the southern side, and if not solos, then they at least know that they're... I mean, there's been a lot of death on the southern side, so they will have a good chance to do some damage there. Last are trying to make the run on in. And look at this. I mean, for QUICKMATH, had they united earlier, they would have had such a good chance in this circle.
And the thing is, right, we've got a few of the players from Sweaty Nerds standing in the building at the moment, but Andy is just out in the open, in the ghillie, taking shots, and he is actually doing damage.
Yeah, for sure. Ghillie suits, they work well. Maybe not if you jump around like a crazy person, though. Is that
Shooting.
a living bush over there? Something seems a little fishy. Lhasa trying to use that tree for cover. It's not going to grant him cover for long, though, I think. Oh, actually, it might just be inside the circle here.
He's got like a millimeter to play with, so if he doesn't manage to get taken down, he could last a little bit longer, push himself up those point positions. It might be able to work out for him. Play with me, trying to use this car as some cover. Actually gets the knock onto Andy. That's a nice one for him to start off with. How much more can he get done from here, though? Andy's going to really struggle to get back to his teammates where he was playing so out in the open. Siphon's been tagged up as well. This is huge with Play with me. He's getting it done. MYM, though, they come into it at the same time, and Sweaty Nerds basically got everyone attacking them, all different sides at one point. They want this position. Andy gets finished off there. MYM comes into it. Team Unique goes down, and oh my, this is where QUICKMATH say, we may only have 2 players, but we can get this done. Good use of the grenades at the same time. Larza's giving himself a little bit of a poke, but they know exactly where he is. They've been waiting for him, and QUICKMATH are on an absolute rampage.
Absolutely insane performance from QUICKMATH. They had everything working for them in the beginning. A bit of a greedy split to sort of through the middle phase, but now it seems like Tuho and Jupsig has figured out what they need to do. They take out Sweaty Nerds as well in the process. There was a little bit of help from Finkwin and Lhasa, but now 3 solos remaining, and then you have QUICKMATH in the position where their fallen teammates were just before, trying to figure out where are these last remaining 3 players.
And a lot of teams still had 4 players left alive, while QUICKMATH literally just had 2 for probably the last 5-6 minutes, right? And now they've got 10 kills. Damage is being done. Jupsig with 5, just on his own, and they have no problem pushing into this. This is really good. Nice spray down coming in, but Snoopy's the one to go and finish him off. MYM are eliminated, and AVANGAR are still coming into this. They still believe they can rack their way up these points, but QUICKMATH, they have a huge advantage here. Not just positional, but they've got the numbers as well.
Also for Lhasa, I mean, these are a team that went from 7th down to 14th yesterday. Now this is a good comeback opportunity. Even though he might just get that 3rd place, it's still a very, very good game to start things off today.
Laza, hug that tree. I'm all with the tree huggers, especially if it means you stay alive for that little bit longer, my friend.
Yeah, all he can do really is, well, make that miraculous push. The only cover he's going to have is that Dasha. And, well, as you can see, Snoopy might not want to give him that opportunity.
And this is the thing, right? Laza, his position is known. Snoopy's position is known. No one can really hide at this point. It is a bob and weave. It is a run around and see how long you can do to fight to stay alive and push into that circle. Laza got the raw end of the stick here because he was just outside. But even then, he's still staying up. Will this nade reach?
Goodbye, buddy. That should be right on the money. Oh, nope, not just a little too short. 2 going, wait, that didn't hit. What about this one? A little further. Let's see.
No. Laza, he's living the dream right now.
Honestly, what could happen here? Because I think there's a way that QUICKMATH won't win this game. Next circle is going to go dead center. It's going to force QUICKMATH out from here. Sure, Lhasa will have to make a move from down here as well. They know for a fact exactly where he is. But if they go over aggressive, trying to finish off Lhasa, and Snoopy comes in and interferes, you can see this. He has a lot of room to rotate right now. He can make that way over towards the left side trees without Jupsig being able to spot him. So if Lhasa somehow times it right and peaks at the right time, might just be able to get himself a second, even maybe a 1st place game here.
I'm already seeing QUICKMATH jump about. Oh, they're going to get in the car.
Are they going to run him over? Please run him over.
This is interesting. Snoopy's going in to fire off onto him. You can see it in the bottom right of the screen. Snoopy's got actually a good bit to work with here. Giving himself out in the open. Laza jumps in right on top of him. This is not what they wanted, but Laza, he couldn't connect the shots. Jupsig makes him pay the price for it, and now it's all on Snoopy to see what he can do. But QUICKMATH, they need to act as a team. They need to act together. Jupsig running around onto him on the tree. So much damage being done, but they can't get the finish. Snoopy, he's trying to hold on. He's living alive behind that tree. He's still popping out, trying to make it connect, but he can't hit the shots. What is going wrong for poor Snoopy here? Jupsig, Sees him, they've got him in his sights. There's only so much hiding he can do. Shots are just not connecting. The pressure is certainly on here. Nades going out of Snoopy. He must be, I'm going to rename him to Neo. He's somehow avoided so many shots here. He's just living forever.
Wants to get the first hit off. He might be able to. Not gonna happen though. 2-0 UO. QUICKMATH. It seemed hard for them when they lost in Solenzo and one more play. I'm interested in seeing where Unique will go. Are they going back down to Ferrip here? Would be expected. But if you want to go all the way to Prem or anything of the likes, might just not be a thing to do.
Well, this is interesting as well. MYM might have some competition here for military base. AVANGAR getting their usual spot. Azarin will not have to go for a swim in a dirty death here, which means AVANGAR can potentially do some huge work, keeping all their team alive.
I'm still waiting for another team to go Georgia Ball. I mean, it's a good place to loot. Sure, you're a little on the western side, and with the current loot settings, you don't really need those big cities anymore. You can sort of settle with splitting for smaller compounds, more center on the map. But very interesting to me that you only have one team going on up there.
Now we're going to see Unique head to Ferry Pier as always. BESIKTAS look to be trying to go and take Pochinki as well, which would be very nice for them. It's not their constant drop spot, and that's one thing they have been varied on ERANGEL is they do like to keep it varied, right? They like to move around. They like to ensure that they're not going to be the predictable ones. But everyone else is certainly finding their homes. Like Saverni, no one is challenging QUICKMATH there.
No.
And they don't want to risk it, right? You do not want to pull up onto QUICKMATH anytime soon.
No, yeah. I mean, and you can see it here. I mean, now we go Western Circle. I was going to say once again, the previous one wasn't. Easy rotations coming in for everyone, I would assume to see. Potato Hill is going to be very much usage to the area just north of where you see Calvin Klein is. There's a little brown spot there looking like a potato. Thus, that is Potato Hill. But rotations coming in over the southern side, down by the roads there, and also up and around Potato will be interesting. What I'm looking to see here, though, Team Unique, they're doing that split in Ferrip here right now because we saw in one game they were sitting around looking for a little bit, waiting for MEETYOURMAKERS to come on over.
Yeah.
They didn't. They took some extra time, and then they didn't spot them. But this could be their chance to get that bridge camp opportunity. We don't see it done very often in competitive PUBG, but who knows? Who knows? MEETYOURMAKERS, they haven't been confronted on the bridge, and now maybe having had so many games in a row where nothing has happened, could be them just driving over without really giving a care, and then they get caught off guard.
Complacency is a real thing. Now on your screens at the moment, Sweaty Nerds, a good effort and great game from them earlier.
Yeah.
In terms of just what they were able to put up, how they were able to defend. So many teams just wanting to finish them off and take their position. They were very much just locked down and, okay, we just got to fight out this any way we can, keep them at bay. And they put up a good performance. And we've actually seen them, they're not, I wouldn't say slow starters, but it's just been a little bit of a crawl for them. They've like, it's not been terrible games, it's not been amazing games, but they've been there or thereabout.
Yeah, I mean, they're a team that likes to be aggressive. They've had that work for them, but here in the game today, they actually didn't. They stayed up on the hill for quite a while and didn't push down before they knew, okay, well, there's nowhere else for us to go. We got to go 4 guys in these 2 vehicles and just slam it into that house. Fortunately, there were only 2 players alive in that house for QUICKMATH, so they got themselves a spot, but unfortunately went out when they had, what, I think it was something like 3 or 4 teams trying to push the compound at the same time.
Hey, it's something that can always happen, as MYM have got obviously no contest on their military base as of now. They'll get looted up across the borders. Actually, Smash Bay is going to go straight in onto Sweaty Nerds. We get that elimination straight off the bat here, and that is not what you want to see for Sweaty Nerds after the good game we were talking about.
And this catches me as much as Siphon off guard because we need a home. They have been so slow with their rotations coming out of Georgia Ball. Whether they've had the circles on the western side or not, they've always looted for long, and then they've made that move out, whether it's been from south or from north George. So Rita and Smash Bay being in Cube already, Cube the area that we're seeing on the map right now, that is very surprising to me. It makes perfect sense because they want to come up and take control before anyone else does, and Siphon was not at all expecting that.
No, not at all, and that's why he gets picked off early, and that is where Sweaty Nerds will now have to play 3v4 in a lot of situations here until a few more kills come on the board. Now, KEBAB'S, I was praising them not splitting up so much, you just saw it on your screen. EFSA chilling on his own, 2 players up towards the just top northeast of the circle, and then Mr. Unseen spread out just a little bit.
This split, though, I mean, as a contrast to some of the other splits they've done, this one actually kind of makes sense. EFSA is in a compound in the very center, still on the northern side, but in a compound where you can hold people off. If you start shooting at people, they will not full-on committed to you. I mean, he is still Circle 1, no one's going to contest you, and he will be able to have this button. He, for the most part, can see the compounds around him too, so he can know whether things are going to be available, or he'll be able to hear people pulling up on them. So he has plenty of info he can give to his friends. Only issue for them is they'll be coming in completely not knowing what they're rotating through. So if a team like Wizards that we know like to sit around and wait for teams to come on driving, if they run into one of those guys, they could be in for trouble.
Now we can see AVANGAR at the moment, no contests near them just yet. Plenty of room to work if Snoopy is going to run on and by, get himself into a position to just look around, grab any of his teammates if he wants. He's now driving backwards. So you can just not do anything I'm going to say, Snoopy. That's fine. I'm down with that. If you just want to have a little drive, go to cruise, you know.
I've been practicing my 180 donuts, guys. You want to see? Did they look good? 10 out of 10. Thank you, guys. I'm going back south.
I thought he was just going to roll up on his teammates and pick him up. Instead, he's like,
nope.
No, I'm just going to have a little bit of a drive, you know, buy myself some time. I'm not worried.
We see Desperado coming from the southern side here. Southern side. Southern side, say, trying to see if they can get themselves a good spot. I'm not sure if they saw this or see this crate. Normally, when you're driving a car, especially if there's a roof on it, it's very hard to see what's above you. So I'm sure they're going to be driving underneath this crate, not able to pick it up. But you see BESIKTAS, they've already taken control of the yellow house on the west side, and Apocalypse is under all kinds of fire.
Yeah, BESIKTAS, they're letting it rain. They're firing off non-stop here. They are going to find the knock. Simsy's the one to get it done. VENKONAS, they're walking into a bit of a death trap here. They want to try and stick away from this for sure.
Yeah, AWM on the cheek.
Again.
Nice little crate to be fetched there. I'm not sure if Fake Sword or not. He would be the man to get it because there's no one else nearby. But I'm not quite sure that's the case. BESIKTAS, they do have people nearby, and it is VENKONAS once again taking casualties early. Chesky will have to do one hell of a one-man performance if he wants to hold up all of BESIKTAS.
Yeah, nades coming out there from Simsy. He's the man I love watching throw nades. He goes in for the nades you never expect to make happen. Another elimination, though, is going to be Ensalenso. He's gone down from the Swarm, which is a good start for them, but not such a good start for QUICKMATH. But we already know, if they're outnumbered, you still can't count them out.
Not at all. See, I mean, more trying to see if you can crawl back, find some sort of foliage where you can be like,
leave me alone.
Maybe if they don't see me, you can come out and rest me. Safe rest, just come. I don't know how you say safe rest in Russian, but I'm sure he's calling it right now.
Yes, he's got to do some damage here, but Simsy's on top of it. You saw the nades come out as he sprayed in as well. Good teamwork here from BESIKTAS. He's going to get the first aid kit off, which isn't going to be a problem at all. But VENKONAS, they're not going to really be able to challenge this. They're coming into it now, but they're heavily outnumbered.
Yeah, but look at who else is joining in on the action. We have all of the guys up on the northwestern side. As we talk about them, we also see Emirates making a run for it. It's like, nope, not gonna happen, guys. I'm getting the hell out of here. And he will, at least for now, be able to get out of the area, actually into the western side of the map to himself. And that's interesting, because if this next circle goes southwest, there'll be so much room for these players to rotate down towards. But on your screen right now, Reciprocity, rough game one, hopefully can make up for it here.
Yeah, they'll be looking to change things around, but looking for team. You can see Test, they know where he is, just spotting him out just a little bit there. Apocalypse trying to find himself a bit of an opportunity here. Aros has taken down Mr. Unseen from the KEBAB'S. And it's just this waiting game. He's like, I know where you are. The moment you move, I'm going to finish you off. I'm going to put you down no matter what you do here, Test.
You see they're spreading out. They're trying to get the angle on the tree there because they can only cover him from so many degrees. But of course, they don't want to overcommit to it. They don't want to be visible to BESIKTAS either.
That's not going to be looking good for Test. He knows now that, okay, they're not leaving me alone. They're not going to fight amongst themselves. They want me down first.
Big question here is going to be if looking for team is aware that BESIKTAS is still inside the combat. Oh, look at this. They know exactly where he is. Just shooting. He sees the backpack. He sees the weapon as well. You can see it right there. A little bit of a weapon staking on up. And Apocalypse is going to full on push this. It might just be too much for him because he was taking a ton of fire from yellows before. Fortunately for him, able to make that run back towards his teammate only because BESIKTAS ain't pushing out on it. And if we know one team that would be pushing out if they wanted to, that would be BESIKTAS, but I guess the horses are held, the dogs are held in a tight leash right now.
Yeah, I think in there want to just make sure they're playing the safer game here because we know they love to go for the kills, but it doesn't always work out for them. And once again, we see AVANGAR going for that later rotation, coming up through the north-hand side. What they want to try and do here is really just try and catch off some of the other teams on the rotations, like ELGIG at the moment, right? May not be expecting something like this coming out from AVANGAR. And the one thing is, where AVANGAR do this, and you go, oh, well, people should start to believe in it and should start to expect it, they always go a different direction. It's always up north when they come down from the south and we get a center circle or a western circle, but it's the way they do it. It's where they choose to go through.
This is always interesting when you get the dead center of the circle to be in the water, even more so on that little Bermuda island. You have ruins around, you have water town or Atlantis, whatever you want to call it. not very nice areas for sitting in vehicles. Now we do talking about vehicles. Have the drone transporter trying to make the run up. Cubesic wants to see if he can get the damage done. It's a headshot coming in, but seems like they will live with the scare at least for now. But no, what I wanted to say is this circle center is going to be very hard to play around. It's still not guaranteed whether the circle will go north or south of the water. So when it commits, because we've got a pretty good half-half split with teams on each side, when it does commit to one side, believe me, half of these teams are going to be in for a rough one.
And that's what we're talking about with QUICKMATH, right? Despite being a man down, they're willing to take these shots, willing to take any firing they can. They'll spend that ammo if it means they can do some damage and potentially find themselves a knock or blowing up a car and getting that kill. Now we see Shiv was up on your screen as well. He's managed to find one at the meantime. We need a home just spraying through that smoke, trying to see if they can make any further shots connect. We saw Sweaty Nuts picking up one of their teammates there, just trying to make sure they can keep going a little bit. They were early hindered here, and they're actually going to be firing at Reciprocity across the board as well.
I mean, there are many places in the map you don't want to be stuck, but if it's out on the middle of a bridge, that would be probably classified as one of the top places you really do not want to be stuck. Fortunately, somehow, Drone Transporter managed to get back towards the P6, and they will be able to stay put for at least a little while longer. But being stuck out here on the middle island is not going to be the kind of place they want to be sitting in. Ian Octave.
Oh, AVANGAR.
AVANGAR. They're actually rotating back around south. I like what they're doing.
Always something different. This is what I was saying about, right? You could never say, because we know they love to go up north and go around, but they will always switch it up, and that's exactly what's coming into play now.
The question here is going to be where and when are they going to stop the scout? They cannot just send it. They're coming into completely uncharted territory right now. They do not have any info. Sure, they can be shot at and wait for it, but normally when you make these very late into the, sort of the edge of the circle rotations, that's when you come in right as the new circle pops and you'll have that advantage. But look at this, Broken might be able to catch Tizorin off guard here. They were not at all expecting him to sit here, but somehow he gets out alive. Aliyah, though, getting the knock on towards him. That's going to be him down as well, but one more player still inside Orange, no, right behind the alarm.
Broken, though. Missed quite a few shots to start off with onto the vehicle. Has applied the pressure, looking to do some more here. Nade goes out, he does manage to avoid most of it, but further shots coming onto him. Orange Snow wanting to get the finish in place, wants to be able to at least put up some sort of a fight, especially as his teammates gone down in the process. His teammates are now coming in, they're bundling in through the vehicle to try and back him up, but is it going to be enough?
Swarm was the team that we wanted to see get in on the action. That's going to be one kill for them. Hopefully, some more can be added to it. Broken, at least for now, able to hold Orange Snow off. But Blast on and Dash is not really in positions where they can really pull up and help because they do not have the info needed. They just got surprised and they do not know what they're in for. So making the smarter play, saying, you know what, we'll go out, we'll take the safe position on the outside, try hold off any, well, opportune enemies. And we can also hold your, like, kind of above you up towards the combat at the same time. But new circle about to pop. James, where are we going?
Oh yes, where are we going? This is going to tell us how it's going to play out again, going off towards the west. And that's worked out quite all right for a few teams, but the majority are outside of it. And this is where we're going to see everyone start to flood in.
We know for a fact this next circle is going to go down south. It's pretty much going to center on top of Everest. This is going to be one hell of a legitimate king of the hill battle to finish things off. So many teams here not inside the circle, and it's going to be so tough to get towards it too. It's dead split with water in the middle, and if anyone trying to make that cut across, it's going to be very, very difficult.
ELGIGANTEN in such a great spot as well. You can see they're already getting involved in some of the fights. Reciprocity shooting off long range here against the Swarm.
Range shots, they're sitting up shop in ruins. Probably not inside the next circle. Might be just on the edge of it actually. Referee and Scoom down there. We'll try to see if they can make something out of their position. They'll have to make a move, and they might just be running into BESIKTAS if they do decide to do so. Amorous, all by himself, is like, wait, so at least I'm on the right side of the water, but this is not going to be easy.
And he's going to have MYM all around him as well. So he's just going to have to keep driving, at least for now, and hope that they might not want to just jump out and finish him off here. And Flingwing's hot on his tail. We've got a little bit of kind of the car pursuit action going on here that I guess VENKONAS, they really don't want to see here.
Wonder how long he'll be going to chase him down. Will he go for the kill or will he try to get himself a spot? I think Amorous is going for the exact spot that Savage is sitting in. This is not going to pan out well. Or maybe it's just saying, you know what, I'm going to commit to Containers. Let me just go in there and see what I can do with that position.
Wizards, though, back on the scoreboard, back trying to get it done. Only 2 kills thus far, but still 16 teams up. Plenty more opportunity for them. And they love to get involved. They love to take these engagements. They like to give it a try. The P6 trying to land these shots. Can't make it happen just yet. Applying the pressure, the jumps. are happening, and the P6, he's not going to be happy with that. You've got to at least land a couple of them.
You see one more card chase happening right here. Blast on this time around has a guy sitting next door with weapons. That's going to be Memo trying to see if he can do something to dodge these bullets with his vehicle, but not going to happen. Dash landing a headshot while driving. That's, well, I mean, might say more luck than skill, but one hell of a good kill nonetheless. Important points coming in for them, and once again, Sweaternerds into a rough one.
Hey, in my eyes, luck is a skill. I'm not sure if I'm watching PUBG or James Bond at this point because we've seen some pretty funny car chases in this game. Either way, still 16 teams remain. We've seen a lot of action across the board. We've had these hard Western circles come into play. And MIM have got themselves in a nice spot once again with AVANGAR just behind them.
This is the issue, where when everyone knows where the next circle is going to go, that's just going to make for so much, or so much less space. That doesn't make any sense.
Little?
So little. Thank you.
There you go.
English, you know.
Don't worry. You've got a Brit next to you. I'll teach you English. You can teach me some Danish. You'll be fine.
Thank you. But nonetheless, Andy tries to make the YOLO play over towards the containers, but he's going to be stopped short. Asperin secures himself at least a knock on towards him, and that's going to be one rotation where Sweaternerds lose 2 players.
That's quite nice from AVANGAR, right? They're pinned down by MIM. They get in the building and they go, oh, okay, we'll find 20 nerds at least. And they'll be eliminated straight away in 16th place. Yeah. That is not how they would have wanted it to go down, especially after how good a game they had on the first.
For sure. And also, I kind of like the split that Asperin has gotten here with AVANGAR. They're both inside the circle. You see the shrink right here. It went down towards, as predicted, down towards the area of Everest. But now for Asperin, I mean, they're obviously not going to stay in here, Asperin and Noctiv, but they're going to get so much info for the 2 players sitting on the western side of the mountain. Where are people and how can we push over towards you when we have to?
Now, looking at the map you've got here, right, we've got QUICKMATH up there towards the north, not pushing into the circle just yet. They've got an interesting split going on that's working out for them. This MIM position, they're so well known, everyone's having a shot at them. Now, they had the advantage onto AVANGAR, but as we see, we get another team involved of ELGIG, and it starts to become a real problem for them. They're running out of opportunities here. Rubsy's under heavy fire. Asbrin's trying to make this work. Does manage to land one finally, trying to put the pressure on as the get some rock coverage for him.
Land these long range shots, trying to do everything he can with this position before he's eventually going to be forced to make a move out. And as I was talking about before, not only are they shooting down towards these players, but they're also giving all the info to their teammates on the mountainside. You see Snoopy and Maxisol, they know exactly where they're going to have them. They have the marker system in play, and they will do everything they can to try and see if they can make these guys go down and out before they have to start moving themselves.
Rubsy getting his heels off, getting himself back up. These nades are going to come out towards Flurry. Oh, not ideal. That's the way you get it done. The KEBAB'S are eliminated at the same time, and that was a bit of a double team from Desperados and QUICKMATH there. QUICKMATH still, no matter what the odds are, finding themselves in these fights, finding themselves kills, finding themselves some crucial points to keep them at that #1 spot.
We need a home sitting in a very, very good spot down here. It's one of those compounds where you say it's a really, really hard one to breach, but that equally makes it a really hard compound to leave once you get into the final circles if you're forced to make the run out, because it's very open on all sides of it. Stand-in trying to hold off BESIKTAS, 2 of the top teams right now, squaring things off here, but that's some good nade play coming in. Both Ultra and Tomil taken down early, and Simpson now has to figure, do we want to go for the rest, or do we and Logs maybe have to consider making the run for it here?
Doesn't seem like they want to run just yet. The nades are going to continue to come out and barrel out towards them. Yubica wants to make this happen. He's getting some nice damage on there. Lux gets knocked as well. Simsy, this is going to be very hard for him to try and work it. His team are being pressured massively. Simsy, you can see him. He's trying to work his way around the edge.
Yeah, there you go. He's actually getting himself a double now. Oh, yep. And we're, yep. P6 as well, trying to hold off the inside of Wizards. Wizards are known to fly sometimes if they have their broomsticks with them, not to swim. And then we can see here, Dysa not really getting the most of that. Simpsy getting himself a 3rd knock up there. BESIKTAS doing it. And he actually gets the quad.
God.
I'm sorry for casting something we're not seeing, but holy moly. Did he just 1v4 all of Team Unique?
No way. We need to see that back on a replay. Simsy, BESIKTAS, 3 of them get knocked. Unique have high ground advantage. The grenades were barreling out towards them consistently, and they've been able to get it done. Now Wizards has been eliminated.
What?
BESIKTAS, they are looking so strong individually. Simsy impressing me once again.
That is absolutely insane. Not only does he pull off a, I don't even know what to call it, absolutely insane play, but he also gets to rest Tomil. I mean, the fact that they get out of that with 2 guys alive is completely absurd to me.
And Toby, never apologize for commentating something that potentially that hype when we see it back. Because Simzy is still putting in work. He is still doing damage. 7 kills, and he's the only one getting it done. He's trying to help his teammates out a little bit as well. Looking for Teema getting involved onto Reciprocity, who are kind of caught in the middle of this big cluster of just crazy kills going on. And Reciprocity once again eliminated 12th place. We keep talking about it. We expected so much from him, but it's just not been working out for them. This is now disappointing.
Very much so. Hopefully they'll be able to make it up for them, but things that I've been doing right now has clearly not been working at all. Desperado, what are you gonna do from up here? You're in Contenders for now. I'm not sure that's gonna be able to stay in play for much longer. We see Maxi and Astrum. They have to make their way further down on the northern side of the mountain. Will they be able to make a move out from here, or will they not? They got all 4 guys from AVANGAR alive, but not pretty with any opponents nearby. They can do that AVANGAR-ish full train push on. So they're right now at least stuck with their DMRs, which is not really the worst case scenario, I guess you can say.
Yeah, I wouldn't complain about that. Not at this stage at all. As we're going to watch the P6 work his way up into this. MYM gets eliminated. A lot more teams with 4 players left alive now as we get down to the latter end of this game. 20 minutes in, phase 5 at the moment. And P6 is going to pop these painkillers, and he's going to go and give it an attempt. He's going to go in and give it a try. And that's the only thing he can do. There's 4 kills already. He's had 3 of them for his team. He's the only one up, but he's confident to push his way into this circle. Lars is being sprayed into. Tomil's looking to do some damage. Simzy gets finished off. He'd had a huge game on his own. 8 kills just by pure resistance to back his team up. Tomil's under heavy fire, trying to avoid where the grenades are going. Nice duck. Chooses his position very well. Going to try and drink the energy drink, but he could try and push into this and get him when they get the res on go. But the nade comes out. BESIKTAS are eliminating Tomil. He can't dodge them all.
Not anymore for him to do there. You can only hide from so many spots when you're in that rock formation. But look at who's pushing down on this Unity. They heard all the shots fired. They saw all the commotion on the kill feed. And now they're trying to figure, maybe we can get in the action here. But the fight might be over a bit too soon. Apocalypse and the boys from Looking for Team have had a chance now to reset. So they will be ready for a fight about to happen.
Swarm gets eliminated. The P6 dies to the circle. He tried to push his way in, and he was giving it a valiant effort, but it was not meant to be. QUICKMATH, remember, they lost their player so early on in the game, and yet they're still involved in it. And just as we're speaking about it, Smashbay, he gets knocked right down.
You see in the northern side of their Pelsters haven't gotten the knock, actually made the push all the way up across the road to the sort of auto camber up there. Now for 2U and Juptik, they have to figure, when are we going to make that push across? They maybe need 1 more knock in order to do so, because now by the time they've had the chance to get the rest up, but also we just talked about Desperado before, how they will have to maybe eventually make that push out from Containers, and now they very much do.
This is when they tried to make that push out. They've got QUICKMATH around them. Amaris is hiding as well, just trying to keep himself hidden and find some space to work with and keep himself within. He's made it to the top 8 for his team, but how much more can he get done?
One thing that I haven't really thought about is absurd to me how every single player pretty much in this game has a DMR.
It's the DMR time. It's the DMR
No, but one thing
match.
is that I know that everybody likes to play them, but the fact that everybody finds one, I mean, that's pretty impressive. That is pretty impressive. You see Desperado smokes for days.
Wow.
Everything they can throw, they will. And ELGIGANTEN, it's going to be up to them to hold them off. They need to do something. Yesterday we said they weren't playing aggressive enough when they were forced to. Now it's going to be their chance. They need to hold them off. But Contenders is going to be the first guy to go down. There's still 3 more players to go, though. Calvin taken down as Snoopy secures himself a knock onto one. So Sarah tries to see if he can do some damage. Stars goes down. Snoopy gets himself a finish off. So just 2 players remaining for Desperado.
That was the great escape through the smokes. I could hear the music in my ears as Desperados are trying to hold on as much as possible. Shots coming out, and this is brilliant from Tozera. So much damage being done. He's avoiding the nades. Found himself kills across the board. He's somehow still alive. How is this even possible? It's all coming out towards him, and finally, he is eliminated.
We talked about AVANGAR not having a team close to them that they could push. They've been waiting. Where is everyone? When are they coming to us? Now they did, and sure as hell, AVANGAR is going to make a push on it, but they're going to pay for it too. The knock-tip has been finished off, and Astrum been taken down as well. Maxisol might just be able to get the rest on up here, but plenty of damage done towards them as VENKONAS, though, unfortunately for them, going down in 7th place. But once again, a finish off in the points.
VENKONAS, right? Amorous, all on his own, was there amongst all the fights. He was hiding behind Desperados, pushes in and still manages a kill. That's impressive. He'll take that for sure. Now, this isn't looking good for QUICKMATH. They get eliminated. They had only 2 players left alive again. They aren't going to get the chance to get back-to-back wins. And looking for Team Metrelius, he's up there. He's ready and waiting for it. He wants to do some more damage.
8 kills as well. Looking for a team have started to show us exactly what they're capable of. Good to see, Maxisol. Good luck, buddy. You need to dodge and weave and need to do it for the next 30 seconds because this is a long, long run in the open if you want to get up to Snoopy. And here the issue can actually become, because right now Snoopy is visible to Unity, but they don't know where he is. So if Maxisol keeps running up towards him, they might just accidentally spot him in the process.
Yeah, that's it, right? Might give away his teammate's position. He does not want to have a chance of doing that. That'll be less than ideal. Looking for Team, are the only team with 4 players left alive here. Hugster on Elgig holding strong for his team. Derek for We Need a Home. 3 members left on Unity. Hugster for Elgig now. He had some really good plays there, but after that huge bit of chaos, he was the only one left alive, and now he is really stuck.
Liking to see the overlays we have up here on the left of our screen, giving us a bit of a overview of who is alive remaining in the game. 5 teams. Polarook doing everything he can with the Rug and Natasha. And, well, not a whole lot more you can do from down there than just wait and hope to see people die before he goes out.
Unity, though, their position with all this high ground, this is so ideal. Problem is when this new circle does come in, and it will pop eventually soon, obviously a minute 30 now to go, that's where it's going to be a little bit harder for them, because at the moment they can see anyone who's trying to move. They may look like ants to them at some points, but they've got great positioning in terms of they've got so much vision.
Look at this Hookstar. He has very, very far to go. Smoke cells started to be thrown. Only issue here is the only place he can really go is to where Polarook is already. And if Polarook is smart, he's going to turn around and start looking at what they're shooting at. But look at this. Snoopy trying to do some damage. Hookstar, though, taking shots from all over the place. Everybody else has stalled and come to an agreement that ELGIGANTEN has to go down before we continue fighting. And there you go. Hookstar will go down in 5th place, though. So a good makeup for them. But what's surprising or impressive to me here is looking for a team 3rd place last game, and now they're in top 4 again.
Yeah, they're starting to come alive here in day 3, match 10. Looking for Team in a strong position, but that's not ideal. Snoopy gets the nade up, it works out in his favor. 10 kills up for AVANGAR, and that's one thing they certainly like to see. A killing spree coming the way from the CIS team.
Killing spree! Yeah, we have to. Yeah, we gotta do that next time, James. I'm just saying, people are asking for it, and we gotta please people. So next time we just have to start screaming, you know. Looking at me like
I'm going to suffocate my co-commentator for trying to take us down the Korean way. It doesn't even make sense.
Nonetheless, as we see, the circle is coming to a close. Next circle, the final one, will be shown in just about a matter of seconds. And for Maxisol and Snoopy, they've only really been on the western side, and more so, they've only been in the northern. So they haven't got that much info on what's in the south, but it doesn't really matter, to be honest, because they've got the circle.
Now, I know Hayes is watching. He is the bad influence in this. He is trying to turn you into a Korean commentator that makes no sense. We're not going that way. We're keeping it European. We're keeping it our style. And who's also keeping it their style is AVANGAR. No matter if the odds are stacked against them, they'll find a way to get up there and get within the kills. They're amongst the top 4 teams, 10 kills for them in total. This is looking pretty damn good, but they've got to try and play the numbers game here. Looking for Team, they're still in a nice position, but Snoopy, he's believing he's got an idea of where they might be. You can see him scoping about at the moment. He's got to be so cautious, and okay, that could work out.
Yeah, smoke out your friend. He just got shot in the foot, and that means that, well, his position is compromised. Polarook, though, he could be in a really, really, really dangerous third-party spot. It was Amorous before, who as a solo player kind of messed up AVANGAR. Now it could happen again. Logipuff has to make that little push on further forward, get inside the circle. But as you can see here, Polarook has a very good spot on towards Maxisol.
Now, Unity did have the high ground advantage, but as that circle's changed, they've had to reposition themselves. He could end up running straight into Laza, and that's exactly what begins to happen. But Orange Snow, he still somehow gets away with it. Is he going to go in with a finish? At the same time, AVANGAR come into it. They come alive. Blaston's been shown down.
Polarook, he's just going to stay. I mean, he's just on the edge of the circle down there. Only issue for him is if Apocalypse starts looking down that direction, it could be hard for him to do anything. But there you go, Rampage for Maxisol. And 11 kills for AVANGAR. Despite the fact that they lost 2 players, not early, but earlier, they sure are still playing aggressive. And look at this. Once again, they have a circle center. Everyone has to come to them.
Yeah, we've got a 2v2 versus 1v1 at this point. Not too many players left here at all. And this is what it's going to come down to, that teamwork. Derek, he's kept himself so quiet. He's watching everything that's going on. He's not even going to go and take the shots just yet. He doesn't want to give away his position. The AVANGAR players are under and being pressured up here. Maxazor's been eliminated now, and they had such a good spot, and now it's all on Snoopy. What can he get done? Derek was just watching it all go down, and he might be able to finish off AVANGAR here, and that's exactly what happens. Derek looking to get it done. AVANGAR eliminated. It's the top 2 teams.
There you go, teams remaining, and not excusable for Derek to take that much damage from the circle before he got the damage done. But in the end, it's going to be looking for team to get themselves the getting started this time around. Hopefully going to play all the way through, playing straight, cutting the map in half, and we'll see where these guys are going.
Maxazor jumped without the rest of his team straight away, unless they're all just on top of him.
They're all inside the same one frame. No, he's just he was like, guys, let's go. Oh, wait, you're you're not going?
He's like, I pressed too early, guys. I apologize.
Like he had this, he had like his Discord muted. I was like, let's go, and then oh, nobody else heard what I was saying. Nobody. I think what's happening is that he's going up towards the Terra Bronca Campo Militar area of the map to get looted, and then you see the other guys from Unique, they're going north as well. And normally you don't have that many northern teams, so if they go like Operaria or anywhere around there, they'll have a clear passage over towards him, which means that if he goes on the eastern side, the circle goes up to him, he'll be in a good spot. If it goes west, he can rotate around the northern side, be safe, and he'll have his teammates up there to go to as well.
Hey, I like it. It's a different approach from them, but let's hope one of them doesn't get picked off, because we saw Maxazor on ERANGEL yesterday get picked off, and it became a real big issue for his team. Now, BESIKTAS, they have gone for Impala this time.
Yep, very much they have gone back down to where they started. Unique going down towards Paraíso as well. For MEETYOURMAKERS, of course, not being able to fly all the way south, but who knows, maybe they won't be needing to do so either, because the circle just went back out east, and this is exactly the kind of circle that BESIKTAS got yesterday when they got themselves that second very, really good win with 10 kills at it.
And they can walk their way up north to their little mountain to climb on and take some high ground advantage if they so wish. So we could see a little bit of a repeat of some of the style of game from yesterday. Now, the guys on your screen at the moment of QUICKMATH, they will be finding themselves kind of pitted in between 3 different teams at the moment, right? We've got Sweaty Nerds nearby, you've got Unity, and you've got AVANGAR up there just over towards the northwestern side. So they've got to be more cautious this time around, because last time there was only 2 teams near them.
Yeah, I mean, for them, I mean, I would assume to see AVANGAR rotate further north, see ELGIGANTEN getting looted up inside of the likes of Los Leones as well. But interesting with this circle, we just saw it right before. Just on the western side of the circle center, we have La Pentida and Minas Generales, where everything went down yesterday. But we saw how many teams, because we talk about how all the teams want to go center in the first circle. Because of the area that they're in here, the circle center is really open, and then you have the La Pentida crater. Because of that, so many teams were forced to sit on the western side. Fortunately for them, that next circle went out west to them. But if the next circle today goes out east, believe me, it's going to be chaos for all these teams trying to make the rotations.
That's what we like to see, the chaos start to unfold. At least from an entertainment perspective, for sure.
Very much so. It's content, you know, it's content.
Oh, yes. Content indeed. An opportunity to see some crazy fragging power. Now, Unique got themselves down just towards the far south. They'll be very much uncontested for now. Standin's already having a bit of a time, looting on his own, but then we'll also be aware of the teams quite close by.
See, we need a home. They had a really good performance in the previous game that unfortunately got reset. They held off 2 teams first, the Wizards team, but also with the VENKONAS team. They're trying to push in following. Now MEETYOURMAKERS, they're on their rotation trying to get inside the circle. And Giz and the other Kebab boys, they need to figure, do we want to go further south on this one, maybe down towards Junkyard like they did yesterday? Or is El Azahar the place we're going to be sticking around in here for the first circle?
Good old Kebabs. On the time, starting together a little bit more together. They're playing it differently once again. They're a ERANGEL style of play, right? It's unorthodox, but it obviously works for them in some degree. They've not been having as many points at all. But I remember yesterday on Miramar, they were starting to see a little bit better than what we'd seen from them previously.
One thing I'm looking to see here is when is AVANGAR going to rotate? Because it was in this circle yesterday where they had that, let's go north, or the circle goes south. Let's go west, or the circle goes east. Yeah. That was the game, right? Now they have Maxazor. I mean, it must have been a fat figure. Something must have gone wrong since he's where he is right now. But at least now they have him inside the circle, so they will have some sort of info, some sort of intel as to where they can go and where they can't go. I am expecting them to rotate over the northern side of the the Miramarian hemisphere, but we'll have to wait and see, of course, what they're planning on doing. For Wizards, they need to make their way out northeast, and for the Swarm down here as well, they need to do something similar.
Yeah, and the Swarm, right? We literally had hardly been saying their names across the previous 2 days, but today they're starting to certainly look that little bit better. Still not with a standout performance yet, but as we're starting to see more teams coming alive in Contenders, and that's what it's all about. Reciprocity on your screen now. They are actually in a very nice spot.
Yep.
They'll be able to push their way through to La Bendita at the moment. The question is, how much can they hold on to? Sometimes they've been going in for these engagements, just been coming off unlucky. Other times they've just not been able to get themselves in the position they want. This time around, they could have a bit of a fight on the hands, but they should be able to get into position. As Amaris from VENKONAS is going in for the spray down onto the card. He wants to try and blow some people up. He'll land the first few, but can't finish it off. Whacking away. Nicely done.
Some more plenty of bullets to work with, fortunately for him, because he is spraying a lot of them all over the place. Unfortunately for him, Apocalypse does manage to get out of there alive. Now Memo actually has to get back down into safety because Mithralius gets some shots connected up towards him. But as we saw just there before, no first hits for him, so they have opted to rotate early. It's going to cost them in the sense of how many meds they're going to get, though. Look, what, did MEETYOURMAKERS just get a crate inside the compound? I think they did.
Oh, wow. Yeah, pretty much on top of
It's
them.
actually on top. They might be unlucky that it lands on the roof, though. I mean, that could be the thing. But BESIKTAS here, making that rotation. They sat in the exact same compound to start things off with yesterday when they had the Eastern Circle here. So we'll see if they'll be benefited with yet another chicken dinner. Would be the third Miramar chicken in a row for them.
They're taking some shots onto ELGIG just there, but they will have no problem escaping, at least for now. The problem is for ELGIG, no matter where they go, no matter where they turn, there's teams from every single side. BESIKTAS, MYM, Reciprocity, Desperados, ELGIG, everyone is within that small, confined area. Even Unity up there just a little bit further on the north. And oh no, we see it again, Toby. The vehicles. Oh.
There's just no room for it. I mean, I know it's unfortunate miscommunication. So many things can be the cause of it, but especially when you're rotating, there's no room for it.
Yeah, it takes time. You've done damage. You have to pick your player up. It's just at this level, I expect it not to be seen as much, and yet it still comes into it. Now, Intense, he's firing off a ton of shots there. Wants to see if he can take anyone out of their vehicles. Not able to happen just yet. And he's going to go take a look at that crate.
A team that's sitting well centered is ELGIGANTEN, and we have yet to see them deliver what we know they're capable of. Could be a chance for them to do something good here, but look at that. MK14 in the hands of Intense. That is the kind of weapon you want to get in this sort of circle.
Yeah, you're not going to complain about that whatsoever. Let's look at the rotation that we're going to be seeing from AVANGAR very soon. Unique's coming up from the south. They've got no problems at all. AVANGAR have gone from that northern player. They're going to go join up Maxizor, and hopefully they can come in to pick him up and say, hey, buddy, we didn't forget about you. You didn't get picked off, so we can still stay together as a team unit, and we can try and make this work.
Very much so. You see Play With Me company making their rotation there for Ladruk, and we need a home need to do the exact same thing. One of the few teams who have yet to find them inside of the circle. And, well, I mean, they will have a chance to make the rotation on up, but Amaris and the guys from VENKONAS, they could actually hold them off. Seems like they're going in the direction of where they are sitting. So we'll see Rita. You see him very smart, goes out of the vehicle, gets it parked safe. There's no tires are going to be popped. Scouts on forward. Don't do any over-eager rotations. Don't think that something is going to be free. Always, always, if you have a chance to check it first, make sure to do so.
And that's what it's key to do. Jupesic having a little look around. Might be able to catch Raffi there, which would be less than ideal for Reciprocity. They can't have him going down early on. There's a bit of a split for QUICKMATH, though. Two players taking the forward push roll. They'll be able to hear that Reciprocity are running around at the moment. A few shots being railed off there, but nothing able to connect just yet. Raffi is aware of what's going on.
Reciprocity has a 2-2 split right now. They have got Shiv and they've got Hexeti on the edge of La Bendita down on the southern side. So for Skoom and Raffi, they don't know how many players they're up against. If they're going to stake around here, see, Skoom already made that transition over to the other side of the road. It's a dangerous position to be in, and they are, as we can see, inside the circle still. But do they want to keep this 2-2 split or not? Seems like Hexeti and Shiv has already made their way inside the vehicles. And look at BESIKTAS split as well. So much control for them.
Yeah, looking in a good spot. Unique trying to bundle in behind them. Already getting closer off towards each other. Wizards A bit of a different start for him here, right? Not going in for these early engagements, not seeing too much aggression out of him just yet. O'Connell is scouting ahead further forward than the rest of them. AVANGAR have picked up Maxazor and started to work their way in with it as well. We need a home. They're having a look around here. They've had a couple of good games on their hands, but they've got to be cautious. VENKONAS are just around the corner. They are quite close by.
Chesky and VENKONAS have run all the way from Los Leones to where they are now. They're like, you know what, we're not going to get any vehicles anyway, so might as well just make the run down here. Sure that MEETYOURMAKERS flew down towards them. We saw them take some vehicles as well. Unfortunately for them that those were taken, but it's forcing them out on their feet, and there's still a long, long way to go towards the circle. There's just about 25 seconds to go until it's going to start closing in.
I like this from standing as well, right? He's aware of BESIKTAS' position. They've made some noise already across it. If you can find any of them, see where actually they might be positioned, see if we can find any players that split up a little bit. It'll give him the call over to his team to come in and go on the hunt. And BESIKTAS are certainly a team that if they can get this one player knocked down from them or something like that, it'd give them a huge chance to come into this. Reciprocity, they've got themselves down in the compound. Sweaty Nerds seem to be quite aware of it. So it could be a little firefight that comes off between these two teams. ELGIG just out in the distance as well, as you can see. Ever so close, these teams, but no opportunity just yet to push in for it.
And you saw it very, very well right there. Everything that's not a compound, it's open, especially around the south, pretty much the center, western center area of the map. It's very, very, very open. Sure, there are some trees and a few rolls here and there, but other than that, not a whole lot to do. And look at the southwestern side. I mean, more Amorous and Chesky. They're just running. I mean, if this next circle hard shifts east, good luck, guys. You're going to need it. Memo taken down by Rafi. Important for them to realize that they had people on the top side of La Bandita, and now they know where the pressure could potentially come from should they should the next circle hit down towards them.
Now Memo going to get picked up as that smoke drops down. Either way, they're not going to be picked off early on. Remember, last game before we had the crash, they were not having a good time, the Sweaty Nerds.
Yeah.
They've been turned into a little two-man squad to fight it all off with. QUICKMATH, they've held onto this compound now for the longest time. They're not going to want to push up just yet. They've got one player just scouting off in the distance. The rest of them can hold strong for now. And this is good, right? Because they know we can just wait for this next circle to pop. We can bide our time for a little bit here because no one's directly challenging us, and we could potentially be in a really good spot here.
Desperado's centered position could come in to benefit them, but it's a hard place to play around because you have a lot of ridges around the side that other teams can kind of crawl up on and take positions. And I see an Octave making that rotation. The AVANGAR guys are eventually going to make their way inside the circle as it's going to close in just about a matter of seconds, and we'll see the new one pop as well. So who knows, maybe someday all four of the players in AVANGAR will be sitting together. Shouldn't be too long.
They can hope and they can dream. It is about to be a position that they're going to have to fight for, though, with Unique ever so close. And we go for a very southeast circle, and BESIKTAS again get their position.
And look at what's happening immediately. They realize, you know, Tumbling looks there on the northern side. They will get pressured like hell if they stick around up there. Multiple teams could come for them. They need to go down. They know Simpson Ultra is sitting in a priority compound. Go down there, assist them, help them, get the better of the position, hold off everyone. You need to be 4 guys alive if a team pulls up on you. Very smart, very quick reaction too.
Only one player dead so far, and it is on the VENKONAS side. Everyone else up and alive, ready and waiting. We'll be seeing some battles taking place real soon, that is for sure. And one team that certainly is going to want to get themselves back into the fray is going to be the likes of Reciprocity and Wizards here, because those two teams, right, they've been on the cusp of it, but now this is their time to try and make it shine. And I like this from Reciprocity, right? They're going all the way around. They're taking the long distance fights here. Sweaty Nerds, though, under fire, using the rock as a bit of cover. MYM looking to try and put the hurt onto him. The vehicle comes speeding through. Andy's got to be so cautious. A very dangerous open-ended play from him. He's taken so much damage, and Robsy is able to get the knock on him. They're going to straight away finish him off. No problem at all. And Lipson's come into it as well, and he is just being tapped down bit by bit. And
this is the issue we're headed into now. This is what you see. This is what you get. I'm going to say around 40% of this circle is huge fields like you see right here. All you have for cover is your vehicle and maybe a hay bale, because once you get out about those, I think it's 250 meters, that foliage won't render for your opponent, and that grass you can so safely thrown in won't even be there for your opponent either. So you cannot use that to your advantage at all. And Smash taking the shot to the head. Great shot by Flurry there. MEETYOURMAKERS starting to get their game rolling.
And the headshots starting to roll in, their kills, filling up our scoreboard. This is where the fights are starting to happen. This rotation is the big shift throughout all of it. And BESIKTAS, they are directly smack bang in the middle of it all. And they've got themselves in another good spot to try and work the advantage from. They feel so much more comfortable and at home on Miramar, it seems.
They do. They really do. And that's also where they popped off in the qualifier. So it makes perfect sense that this is where they get things going. Finally, Shiski and VENKONAS are getting inside the circle, but they are pushing up on the two remaining players of Sweaty Nerds. They had a fight happen in the previous game. Ooh, that's a nade to the face. Unfortunately, Pelsies in the meantime runs over. So let's just quickly skip that. And and now with a 3v2 advantage, they got a chance to make a play here. Calvin, all by himself, trying to hold off. He will get some assistance, but not needed. Jupsy goes down immediately.
This is not looking good for QUICKMATH at all. A team that's been able to stay alive pretty much through most of the games we've seen, keep themselves up towards these top 8 regardless. This is leaving just Ensalenso to try and build up and get his teammate back into it and try and fight back. Sweaty Nerds are going to be your first team eliminated. And it's VENKONAS that have got the pain to bring towards them. VENKONAS, again, starting to get into this, starting to get it done, starting to find more kills. And again, BESIKTAS, MYM, them two are in the pivotal profile positions here, which is going to work out so well as this circle begins to shrink.
And not only that, but they're in 2 of the 3 only compounds in this entire circle. Guys, I've heard vehicles work best when they're on their wheels. Not like this, and Salenso, not like this. First they run each other over, now they do a quadruple front flip down the hill, and in the end, up they blow.
You spoke about it before though, right? This is a difficult map to drive on, but Quickfire, they made that look really rough.
Yeah,
they ended up just going for a bit of the kind of stuntman styling. And then you end up being the next team out. Not the ideal location, but they have got plenty of points to play with at least.
Interesting park in here as well, because trying to make the most of his position. Really good spot they've got themselves up into actually on the eastern side of the near circle. Let's see if they can contain that spot though, because they are taking fire, as you can see from a lot of different angles. Gravity goes down and out. Shift gets the finish up on Nug, at least onto Lassa. But let's see if more will come off of it. Ubicat runs back up to his teammates, trying to figure out what to do. And right now it looks like looking for a team on all sorts of trouble. But Orange Snow is as well. The entirety of ELGIGANTEN shooting at him. And how are you still alive?
Not for much longer, that's for sure. Orange Snow burnt to a crisp. His vehicle goes up in flames and he goes down. Unique under heavy fire as well. And once again, it's BESIKTAS Esports. They're coming into it. They're making it rain and they're holding on from this compound. They've got so many buildings to work from. The teams are having to come to them and they are making everybody pay the price.
There's approximately 1.5 dip that hasn't been taken already where people can play from. We still have 2 teams inside of Impala. The remaining player, I guess you could say, from Hexeti in Reciprocity is making his way in now. Shift just went down, and for Reciprocity, this could be a 14th place finish if Hexeti doesn't manage to pull off a miracle play here.
Hexeti's got to bring it. He's got to make it work. Desperado's starting to push on the BESIKTAS. They want to take the position here from them. Desperados believe that they can do it, but they've got to be oh so cautious. These grenades are just constantly being thrown out and dropping. This is such an incredible push that Desperados are trying to do here. Is it going to work out for him? Luck seems to have good information. Damage being done there. He's well aware of the positions. Oh, he just spotted.
Oh, yeah, he saw him.
He saw Tozera right on the corner. He knows what to do, but didn't want to engage. Wanted to play it smart. Takes a few shots. Going to wait for him to push in. Lux is trying to play smart. They both push him at the same time, though, and he gets taken down. Desperados believe they can take this building, and they are going to finish Lux off. BESIKTAS, they are on the back foot. Yeah. They are being pushed away, and Ultra's going to get running.
Lux went down early, Simpsy did as well, and now for Tumblin also not a whole lot more they can do than see themselves beat. Fortunately, it's a big enough compound to house 2 teams, at least for now. But for Desperado, very well pushed in, very well organized, took every angle they had. They pretty much played this one like you'd see BESIKTAS team do. This sort of push, very greatly done by them. Savage trying to make a push in as well. This is going to be the entirety of ELGIGANTEN. You say, is there room for us in here as well? Sure, there are. Tumblin goes down. Ultra somehow gets out of there alive, but ELGIGANTEN did lose 1 player in the whole scheme of things there. Stars and Hoakstar still far out, trying to make that run on in, but now it's KEBAB'S making the push in onto Wizards.
BESIKTAS believe they have the spot that they could help them get another win here on Miramar. Now they're down to 1 player, 2 teams pushed into him. Sheesh comes away with a huge kill there, and it's annihilation. Wizards have gone out again. Sheesh, MFS getting it done. Unity, though, they're going to contest for this spot as well, and they're going to rain in on ELGIG as Diags goes down as well.
Shiz, all that's left remaining for his team has to find out, can we go for the rest on EFS or can we not? It's going to be a tricky one, that's going to be for sure. Have to make the run across the road. Still look at Desperado doing everything they can to hold off Unity. Blast down and THESWARM still up there. Has to figure out how in the universe are we going to get inside the circle. No vehicles available. We just need to continue running and hope these guys aren't going to continue to hit their shots.
But they certainly have been hitting them shots, that's for sure. AVANGAR, although being quite quiet so far throughout this game, they're playing just on the edge of the circle, but there's a lot of teams firing up in on them. The Swarm has them currently pinned down, and they need to start moving out of this. They can't hang around here for far too long. In 5 seconds, that circle is about to start moving.
THESWARM, they have a somewhat decent spot right now, but as you can see as well, I mean, this is what you get for the remainder of the circle. A huge open pancake of a field to play around. We have one compound up where 3 teams are sharing, and then we have MEETYOURMAKERS sitting all by themselves on the northwestern side of things, just saying, circles, come on, wait. There's plenty of room up here for circles. Just come up towards us, but look at this. 3 guys all trying to hold up AVANGAR and make the push. Asteroid will be the first guy to go down. Phoenix off is what he gets to, but look at this. Snoopy got a super nice push on him, but he got himself 2 knocks right off the bat. Great spray transfer. And Alia is all that's going to be left for Swarm.
Get a nade up there, Snoopy, if you can. Alia is going to try and push him down. The nade's in his hands. He's going to try and fire it up, but they're just going to have to abandon this position. Nade goes maybe a little bit too high that time around, but this is not looking good for the Swarm. VENKONAS are the next team to go down, but Snoopy for AVANGAR, he wants to push up and just eliminate everything in his sights.
Mythralius just took down the entirety of VENKONAS. Very good job by him. A ton of things happening right now as all these teams are trying to make the run out into the open. Shift all by himself goes down again. And once more, Reciprocity out of points in this game as well. I believe they did manage to get themselves 1 or 2 kills, but not a whole lot more to it than that. AVANGAR trying to make the run down. Fortunate to stay alive. Snoopy made the hero play there, made the push up underneath. Shiz now trying to make the run for it. Got himself 1 knock, but not a whole lot more to it than that.
MYM are still chilling. No one's contesting them. They
and
don't
they
have to
rates
move.
too.
Penguin gets a crate to play with. He's going to get some good loot from that, and they are just waiting to see what happens once this circle comes in. They'll allow everyone to fight around them if it means they can play in for the points. And the Swarm gets eliminated. AVANGAR are hitting the shots once again. They're bringing that A game, and they've brought themselves into top 8.
Snoopy threw that nade and got knocked immediately after. Fortunately for him, the damage was done. They got themselves a team wipe, and now they're within points as placements go at least. Play with me, though, has a rough one to make, and Max is always going to say, you know what, you take down one of mine, I'll take down you as well. And for MEETYOURMAKERS, you know, I think they're just going to stick around for a little while longer.
Okay, MYM, you are laughing all the way to the bank because this could be your time to shine.
There are 3 aspects of this. One being, they're in their compound, they've sat there for a long time, no damage done towards them. Kevlar and Vest fully done. They're in their compound. They have not been forced to use any utility. How many smokes have we already seen used by all these players? Which means when all these guys are forced out of that compound, eventually they will have plenty of room to work with. But now it's going to be Desperado. Hoekstra all by himself. Already got himself 1 knock. Can he make more of it?
By the way, everyone at the moment has also bypassed Ultra. You can see it amongst all the fire that's going on. He's still alive. He's just hiding away. So he's enabled himself to get into top 8 at the moment, and no one's looking for him because all the teams are going head-to-head right now. And Desperados, they're getting it done. Coldamenta, once again, he was pivotal in them securing a 3rd place on Miramar yesterday, and he's just done God's work for them here today.
Hero play coming in there. Goes for the flush. You can say it's on Stars not to be down and holding off his teammate. Tried to get the knock off on the top. He had the damage done towards him, knew he was up there. Not a whole lot more to that. And then Penguin, probably one of the only pro players I know that will take a VSS over, well, I don't want to say good weapons, but other weapons.
Good weapons in our eyes. It's all situational. He must be loving it.
He loves it. I mean, and he's making it work.
Still, look, no one has checked Ultra. No one's checked this spot, and he's only just going to have to move.
Yeah, issue for him being in the house. Him not connecting shots. There you go. The damage does manage to come in, but he has to make that run forward. Ultra, can he pull off a Simsi? There's plenty of people to be killed. He wants to be able to stay alive in this one. Circles right on his heels. He has to start running. Colder goes down. Saucera still no fake make that. He's going to be the only guy alive. And now finally, MEETYOURMAKERS getting in on the action. Only 3 kills so far, but more could be coming their way.
I've got to keep looking at this Ultra fight. He's got the timing on his hand. Drops down the smoke. He's trying to get the res off. If Ultra can push into this would be huge.
Plenty of smokes to be thrown from him, getting everything he can off of his dead comrades. Now he's trying to make the run further forward. Unactive might just be able to get the reses or the meds back up. Plenty of smokes to be thrown. You see, oh, spots on
he's
he
seen
spots him, and he starts shooting, and he does! No, he doesn't get him down! Unfortunately, he goes down in the end. That is going to be one hell of a hair-pulling move for him. Unfortunate for him not able to pull that one off. Feels bad, man. Unactive stays alive for a little while longer.
And that's one of those points where you've got to be clever on the trigger finger. He didn't need to fire just yet. They weren't looking for him. They thought he'd already gone through bypassing him. And AVANGAR are now eliminated regardless in 4th place.
Yeah, very nice try, though. 10 kills is on this side of Desperado. Contenders all by himself. Lipson crawling, and then crawling some more. Heard all the action. Does he want to take a shot, though? I'm not sure, but we see the guys from Reading the Home. We talked about how sad it was for them. They got things going in the game that was remade. Now they have a chance to do something here. 3 teams alive, and they're 3 alive as well.
MYM in the better position, though.
Vinkwin.
They've been able to do so much work here. They're splitting up just a little bit, giving themselves plenty to play with. Rubsy's taking the shots off, which means he can distract the rest of the players within there as Fingwin continues to work his way around. He gets the kill onto Smash Bay at the same time. And Coldamenta, though, still hanging in there, still trying to play the sneaky position.
This is what you can do with the VSS. They have no clue where they're being shot from. They cannot hear these bullets flying towards them. Smash Bay, like, where in the universe am I being shot from? All you can hear is the bullets hitting the ground around you, which means if you hits them, not all you can do. Oh, Cold, one more bullet. Intense saw the blood, but unfortunately for him, not able to land more damage. Now he has to make the push on forward, and once again, Finkwin with the VSS. I called it the weapon that's not as good as the other ones, but when you're in this position, that's exactly the kind of weapon you want to have.
And sometimes, right, this is why they're pro players. They make the tactical decision rather than the best for damage or the best at range, for example. Fingwin knows how this is going to play out. The rest of his team have got the weapons that they would want to be seen here. Coldamenta has been spotted out. The nades are going to hurtle in towards him where that smoke is. This is going to be very dangerous for him. Ooh. Takes a lot of damage, but he's not down and out of it just yet. Going to try and get the first aid off, but more grenades coming his way. Coldamenta somehow, some way, managing to stay alive. And then the shots rain in towards him, and MYM take the win. A big win coming in for them. Their first win across the board. This is where the teams will be dropping. Pretty much split down the middle, almost 50-50 in there.
I wonder where Maxiso will go.
Hopefully he doesn't press it on his own.
You say that, but I don't see him jumped out yet.
Oh, no.
Where
is this the new AVANGAR
You know
play?
what? I mean, it could be a thing that they were like, KEBAB'S were doing this thing and they won. They got a lot of talking time by the casters. What if we do it too? Will they start talking about us more? Where
has he jumped?
Where's Maxiso? I mean, there's only 63 players in the server, so there's someone that isn't here. BESIKTAS going up towards Cruz del Valle again. Not a whole lot of surprises there. I think Maxiso might not have been in the plane. Because I don't see him anywhere.
Maybe that's his punishment from his team. They're like,
you're
messed
sitting
up
out
yesterday. You now will sit out and you will pay the price, my friend. No, we're only joking, but I mean, that's not the ideal start, right? AVANGAR have certainly been working their way up the scoreboards and up the standings. They've been looking better, especially over the last 2 days. Obviously, day one was pretty rough for them, but this is never what you need.
Not at all, not at all. We see Mithralius, Lachipov, and the boys from Looking for a Team in their certain, like, usual split, I guess you can say, but O'Connell is counted down in the middle of everything. I think he was going for the same vehicle Mithralius went for, but now we see a bit of a change-up in the aspect of circles. We are going down out to the eastern side once more, but this time around it's going a bit further south.
Yeah, this is like a really far south, as far south as you can go, to be honest. MYM, it's going to benefit them, the winners of our last game, which is nice to see for them. QUICKMATH, they've gone for the similar position as per usual. They'll be able to try and take some control here. Got teams that go around them once again. Reciprocity do have to be very cautious on their end as well. They are completely locked down in Picado, so they'll be able to get their loot in here, but when it comes down to rotations, it's pretty damn crazy.
It is. We'll have to see if they can make something off of this. People do call Picado one of the best places to loot. And sure, that's been all good and fun for Reciprocity, but it's the things that come after that you need to work in your favor as well. And now I hope for Shiski. I mean, they have the circle, VENKONAS down there, but hopefully they get some vehicles this time around. Because they were running for the entire game last game. We'll have to see if that's going to be a thing or not. Drainy's getting himself looted up in Tora Ahumada. They're far, far up north. Most likely the team with the furthest distance to travel. But they will have the entire eastern shoreline to themselves, to at least a certain extent. So they should be all good when it comes to them driving down south.
Now does that, yep. That little whoop. I'm gonna go. Now Mr. Unseen and the rest of the kebabs, they are there ready for it to go on this little bit of a rotation.
I wish there was a thing in PUBG where when you're playing, then you have like a little red light in the corner saying you're on camera now. Imagine how many more backflips we would see on bikes, how many more 360s people would do when they were running around if they knew that they were on the stream right there and there. Especially early game when there's not a whole lot going on, right?
It's great for entertainment purposes.
That's what it's all about,
Great
though.
if we do a charity event. But on pro level, Toby, I don't want to see that where we get some guy who stunts for the camera and he's like, hey, Ma, look at me. And then actually he ends up getting wiped out.
He gets killed. He accidentally kills himself.
I can see it happening. It'd be funny. I'm down with it. But
Well, I mean, people run each other over anyway, right? So why not do it in style?
yeah. You know how much that tilts me. You know how much I don't like it.
Nonetheless, a circle is going to start closing in just about 30 seconds time. As we talked about, the eastern shoreline will be the sort of highway point for a lot of these northern teams. You don't want to drive through Minas Gerais. You don't want to drive through Lapentida. We saw those fields before. They might be open, but they're also tricky to maneuver in. If there's a team laying low, trying to sort of set up an ambush down there, it's going to be death raining on you. So look to see teams on the far eastern side, and maybe even for like Montenegro Evo teams, for El Pozo teams, take the entire southern route around, because it's all up to the teams that are currently sitting in Pecado, sitting on the western side of Los Leones, to move further in, to make room for the people that are currently trying to make their way in from outside the circle. If they don't move quickly enough, you see it already. Lhasa and the guys from Looking for a Team, they're making their way in, and they're already starting to take fire. They were not expecting people to still be here. Same thing going for Unity. Have a bit further to go from Hacienda, sorry, but at least for now, they'll be able to take the safe transition. Yes, Dio, not so much. Hookstock gets himself the better part of him.
Yeah, he's been able to be the first one to get knocked, and oh dear, we see. Okay, is it just? Is it just today? Is it just today? Everyone's like, you know what? We just don't want to play properly with vehicles. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna just constantly knock each other down. You never know.
It has been worse today than the other days, but I will give you this: my record, and I've kept tab of it. My record in one game of people knocking each other 11 times in one game. Not the same people, obviously, but 11 running over a friend or knocking yourself with a vehicle without being shot at in one game. So it's not new to PUBG at all. And in all honesty, not having the two-seaters here, especially in Miramar, you don't want to drive on the roads, all these things we keep talking about over and over again, it does impact it a lot.
Now, AVANGAR and Unique are going to have the furthest routes to run down. They went up for the northern areas, and now they're going to have to push all the way through. They also don't have too much information on which other teams are going to be rolling around at that point. So they're going to be pretty much going in blind. BESIKTAS, though, they're in a similar spot as well. They've got quite a long way to go, and they don't have the comfort zones of where they're used to. Zyphon, once again, being one of the early players going down. Jukesix managed to finish him off. And Zyphon, he seems to always be caught out. Just as he goes to move, he's like, okay, it's safe, I'm looking around, and then nope, there's someone ready and waiting for
This is what we're talking about. Teams waiting with their rotations for so long that the teams coming in late, expecting them to be safe, won't be able to go in. And a big part of this is that we talked about how much teams want to go center. The center of this circle is the huge city of Los Leones. We know teams don't want to go inside the city, they'll be sitting outside, meaning that for the teams that come in following, there won't be room for them. They'll be sitting out further out. And for the teams to come in the very end saying, oh, well, this is always free because we come in so late, well, it's not anymore because these teams have been pushed out on the edge, and Zyphon unfortunately got caught off guard there.
Now AVANGAR just starting to make their rotation themselves, as is Unique. Unique's going to be going around towards the eastern side, while AVANGAR are going to go for the west. And AVANGAR can come actually quite a nice way all the way down. They just continue to plummet south and then go for a hard eastern push. Then they might be able to work out well for them, as we see the Swarm start to get in some cover and some ground here. Yeah. But there is a bit of a firefight going on around them.
The boys from AVANGAR making that rotation down the western side as expected. Plenty of room to rotate out there. They will tank a bit of blue, but they will know for a fact that it's safe and with plenty of room to roam. Wizards, though, not so much. T-Bone forced out of his vehicle right then and there. And Emerus, you could see him. He wanted to go for the push, but he saw there were vehicles pulling up from behind. Smart reaction play not to go peek over that hillside.
Yeah, that's where you can get a little bit over trigger happy, right? Amarus wanted to go in for the push, but it didn't end up working out for him. Now he's just going to wait it off. He thinks better of it rather than running in and T-Bone potentially finishing him.
Also, he's miles away from his teammates. They're nowhere near him. He wanted to go out and see. I know I hit him. I saw him in the car. There was blood. Can I finish him off? No, I can't. Gotta stay in. I have nobody to back me up. If I get knocked here, there's no risk coming in. BESIKTAS driving some more. They got quite a ways to go from Cruz del Valle down towards the circle. They just had a good game down here in this exact area. We'll see where they end up going, coming into the next circle. Just about a minute's time until we're gonna see the new one reveal itself. But for now, it's just a little shot fired here, a little shot fired there. People trying to see if they can take some control of the area.
They're going for those chip damage shots, just trying to apply the pressure. You never know when you might be able to take down some damage off the body armor, just knock a helm, for example. As everyone now will begin to try and find their positions within this circle. AVANGAR still yet to actually get within it. They're happy to take all the ticks. It doesn't bother them so much. It's such a low stage, and I like the play from Unique.
There is a double sort of, what do you call it? A road blockade set up, and unfortunately, Unique kind of ruined it for KEBAB'S, because look at them, they're sitting further down, they're just waiting each their side of the road, else expected LCB, but that might be one road blockade running straight into the next one. Down here we see EFSA, we see MFS, they're waiting for it, they want it, they have two people coming in, first guy makes it over without any damage done. They do start flying over the run and they explode themselves. No, unfortunate. Of course, also unfortunate for KEBAB'S not to get the points off of it, but two guys from Unique go down in flames.
EFSA's like, I did all that damage for nothing. Now I got to try and get these extra kills in here. He's just croaking around them. What a nice headshot. Drainies gets knocked. He wasn't able to handle that. And EFSA looking to put the hurt on still one player left up because Drainies is not going to be picked.
Never peeks the same angle twice. Really great job by EFSA. Constantly lean peeking from behind the tree, using the cover to his advantage. Does everything he needs to do to get himself the damage done. And KEBAB'S gets himself, well, what could have been 3 kills, but just 1. Really, really good job. Imagine if leaning was implemented in Counter-Strike. That would change the entire game. Ben trying to make up for the loss of Siphon, do manage to get themselves not only a knock, but also a finish off. P6, though, not so much taken down. Broken going down as well now. Swarm taking a lot of damage.
Got to tap away at the vehicle, see if we can get anything else done. He's feeling confident with them first few shots he was able to rattle off. But he does need to be cautious. There are teams around him, and they could get pressured at any point. Sweaty Nerds, they've had some up and down games across the days, and now it's time for them to really start making it work here, because this is the moments where you go, okay, you are quite far behind everyone else. Now it's time to be able to really chime in and have an advantage to work with.
Circle is closing on, and it did shift back up towards the northern side, kind of excluding Los Leones. It's far down south, but you know what? Having started off day 1 with the city ending in Yasnaya, why don't we just get that brutal southern hard shift down inside of Los Leones? It would be hilarious. It would be horrible. But look at this. Reciprocity, sitting center. We know this is what they like to do. Right now, they have some room for themselves. They're sitting in a 3-way split. That's working right now. But if they get the next circle towards them, they need to figure, do we want to keep this to keep the control, or do we want to start getting together? Because people will be coming our way.
And BESIKTAS have put themselves in a nice spot. We did just see previously to that. Mayamore trying to shoot away at Rita, but he's able to escape in the vehicle. At least keeping him at bay for now. And VENKONAS, right? Certainly improvement on the previous days. Not really getting himself into a big number of points just yet. But this is where they're starting to come alive a little bit more. And the Apocalypse need that more speed. It's the push. It's the drag.
There we go. Thank you, observers, for catching such amazing things. I mean, it's small things, but I love it. I must say, I really love it. I really love it.
Well, the thing is, right, you were making noise of like a person struggling to get up, but it is the car. But the main thing there is, his car could have been picked off, right? If he was just sat out in the open, he was out in the open. That's not a spot you ever want to find yourself in.
Understand it. 8 people shooting at you, and you're still alive. That, my friend, is nothing short of impressive. Would hate to see you go down as well, because you're the last remaining player on your team. Would send you to bed earlier than needed. Last game of the day you played, and standing, as we can see here, all by himself. Now, ELGIGANTEN, we saw them get a little more active in the previous game here. Haven't seen a lot from them in the tournament so far, but now Wizards are the ones under fire.
Yeah, and that's where Wizards need to really be able to just rely on that individual ability we kept speaking about. If you're going to be shot at, then you've got to decide if you want to fall back or engage. And if you do engage, you've got to go in for it hard and proper. There can't be any half measures like we saw from before.
New circles just about to pop. Where are we going? west.
Ooh.
We're going out west. We had an ending in it was further north yesterday. But nonetheless, Reciprocity now with a chance to make a play. Raffi and Hexeti has been sitting down here for a while. They've had the chance to scout for the forward. They should know that the compound west of them is available. Question is whether they want to go there or not. We see Shiv and Scoom already making their rotation, but so is MEETYOURMAKERS. They might just be going in the same direction. As I say that, nope, they're not, because MEETYOURMAKERS is in the far eastern side.
Matrellis has managed to pick off Rita. Teammates unlikely to be able to get in and try and help him. Lars has just taken extra shots consistently at it. Wanted to just blow up and finish him off.
One more shot. 3 points. Who wants them? And bada bing, bada.
Oh.
Car.
There we go.
And it doesn't even die. That's anticlimactic. But it did blow up in the end. And Solenza, though, taken down as well. Stand-in, despite being the last player remaining, is not one to be taken for granted.
Oh, Laza, though, was able to spot out one of Rita's teammates. Rita won't be able to try and push back in and get saved here, because as soon as he makes a move, it's going to be shot at, he's going to be found, he's going to be discovered, and then he's going to be killed.
What I'm interested to see now is how Wizards play off of this. They're not in the circle. They have to make the push in. We know they like to play on the edge when they're forced to. They're the kind of team that can do these things because they have good communication from within it, from between each other. We see Standing going down. Now will be the 16th and first team to go down in the final game of today. Wizards, they're making their way in from the south. We see them right here on our screen. Will be forced to make that run off from now. There's not going to be vehicles available anymore. There are too many teams in this area. It would be too dangerous to continue driving up here. But if this next circle hard shifts north, look at what Shiz is doing. And the boys from Kebab, far north on rotation on the eastern side, they could be in a good position to make that circle push in should the next circle grant them the cover.
Yeah, sometimes you've got to risk it, and that's exactly what Kebab are doing. They're feeling like this might be their time to shine, and they'll just go and try and take this northern area and say, okay, look, wherever it goes, we're at least going to get in the circle. This could be our opportunity.
And this is what I'm talking about. These guys from day one to what we're seeing right now, completely different ball game. They set up that blockade on the eastern side. They knew teams were going to come that way, perfectly predicted, and they're playing it off it really smart. Sure, they have been in some firefights that haven't gone their way, but they've also been up against Desperado, Desperado, and the likes of BESIKTAS, and now they might just be running into the guys from Norway once again.
And that's the thing, right? I really feel sorry for Kebab there, because the 2 kills they could have had in the car blew up for him. It's like, oh, come on. Like, give me a chance. We were all nicely set up with it.
It's all about the ADR, right? Oh, no, never mind. That's only when you play matchmaking games. Kebabs, they know where they're in for a treat, and look at who's waiting for them. They took them out once earlier today, and they took them out yesterday as well. BESIKTAS, they are the kryptonite when it comes to Kebab's biggest enemies. There's the overflow on their knees, or anything else. It is the Norwegian players up there, but Emerus as well, trying to see if he can do something towards the boys from MEETYOURMAKERS. Vehicle taking a lot of fire, and Brooks in Intense has to figure how we're getting out of this, because we're not inside the circle just yet.
Wow, all of these shots going off there. Finally, Tess gets it done. Mr. Unseen's been found by Tomo there in the meantime. They're just being all sprayed down and lit up here. Ultra has to be oh so careful. He peeked just a little bit too far and took a heavy amount of damage. The Kebabs want to fight back against this. They don't want to allow themselves to be pressured, and they are just going to have to let Mr. Unseen go down and back away now, because it was just too much for them to handle.
They knew they had the vehicles on the northern side. They saw the next circle. They realized, first of all, well, it's BESIKTAS. Why would we want to do this? Second of all, we're so far away from the circle. Disengage, go for the rotation. Let's put 3 guys inside one vehicle and make that run now. Because if we do it later, believe me, BESIKTAS will be sitting in there waiting to shoot at us. So smart decision making once again from the guys from Kebab.
And they're not messing about, this Kebab team. They'll be able to get the drop on some of the other teams who are already rotating their way in.
Finished 7th last game with 4 kills. Now they're trying to do more, but Test is going to be the one here to go down Venkonas. Do still have 2 players up and alive, and Emerus is going to be the one to do the retaliation. And once again, we're talking about these things. They're in there to get the retrack, but Arrow's not at all in a position to do anything when he lost his teammate.
Yeah, Arrow's got to be careful now.
They're taking these fights aggressively, and they don't have T-Bone to help them. He's far down behind them on the eastern side, but now it's Jupsik going down as BenQ, and the boys from Sweden there to try to hold off the push from QUICKMATH.
QUICKMATH know they need to ensure this push is going to work out for him, but Ben is not going to allow any of it. He's doing the damage. He got the headshot and he's going to go in for the finish. That's exactly what's going to be happening soon. Encelenso, low on health, comes in, gets sprayed down. It's not working out for him. Memo, Andy, and Ben all spraying him down, trying to finish him off here.
Memo is so busy shooting his opponents, he accidentally shot BenQ in the process, I think. That's an unfortunate set of circumstances, but you know what? When you see blood, unfortunately, sometimes your friends go in front of you. Nope, that's a little bit of a misdirection on a nade. Smartly thrown there, but unfortunately for him, not really doing the damage it needed to do. Now, see, ELGIGANTEN, they heard the shots, they saw the kill feed, and they want a third party. We talked about ELGIGANTEN needing to start to do these sort of more aggressive things. They cannot just hold back all the time, and they're pushing in on this smart play. They're in a 4-man push right now, and it could really come to benefit them.
In the meantime, though, VENKONAS out once again, 15th place. They just can't seem to get it done. It's maybe just not their day once again. When will it ever be their day? Potentially, it's time for them to really try and step up. The Sweaty Nerds are still in with, and he's trying to escape, but he's eating too much damage. Elgig are all over him. Elgig's third partying is going to work out for them massively here, as the players from Sweaty Nerds are incredibly low, and now it's all up to Ben to try and fight back against this. Is this just going to even be possible for him? Not at all, as Savage comes in with a brutal nade, and that's going to be Sweaty Nerds eliminated. Elgig, successful third party, 7 kills. That nade does come in to at least team kill him, but it's only a knock, which means he can be brought up.
But you know what? Thank you, ELGIGANTEN. Welcome back in the mix. This is what we've been missing for you. Well-controlled fights. They push 2 guys together inside the combat, just like we talked about Counter-Strike style. When you push in, you know there's going to be one to do the retry or the refrag, if or the trade, I guess you can say, if it comes down to it. Wasn't needed. Played it really well, but look at that from one team that likes the third party straight into another. 2-0 goes, gets down, hooks up, but now we have DESPERADO making the push in on here as well. Stars down immediately, 2-0 down as well. It's going to be QUICKMATH out in the 11th place.
DESPERADO is looking to get involved, but they're going to be met with full force from Elgig. The battle's going on. Diaz from the side, it wasn't enough, and Elgig goes down. Absolutely brilliant here. DESPERADO's coming just at the right time. They managed to keep all of their teammates up and alive, only dealing with 1 knock, and they've taken the control.
Calvin toggles beast mode, get himself 3 quick frags, and that's going to be all that ELGIGANTEN could do there. Unfortunately, they weren't able to reset fast enough. 2-0 kind of messed up the whole synergy, as he was the snake to get them down, and then just perfect timing on the push from DESPERADO there to get themselves the finish off. New Circle is just about to... I guess his circle is about to close in. It actually is closing in as we speak. Reciprocity sitting on the southern side. Look at the way they're split right now. You see Axetti on your minimap on the far northern side. You have Rafi in the middle and Scoom and Chief on the bottom. This is a kebab split if I've seen one in the later circles. But speaking of kebab, Chase is trying to do everything he can to stay alive, but it's going to be Dastish over the top of the hillside, doing more damage than his counterpart, getting himself knocked, but Apocalypse in there for the steal.
Now this is scary here for MYM. Wizards just brought their vehicles in. Got a nice advantage ahead of them there. Try and push in and really catch them off guard, because they've got Asver in from AVANGAR, and the rest of them posted up looking for him at the same time. MYM are very much out in the open here, and this could be where they're completely locked in and taken apart by 2 teams.
AVANGAR has a nice position on the southwestern side. Only issue for them is they're very far out on the edge, and once the circle is closed all the way in, the only really transition point they will have is down and through the crater, and that's not at all what you want to do, because once you're running down that hillside, you're going to be so exposed to everyone else that could potentially do the damage needed towards you. But look at the center of the circle. We need a team sitting in the very middle. We need a home, sorry. Sitting in the middle. Looking for a team, we need a home. There you go.
There you go. Either way, they both need something, right? They're both looking for something. And the one thing they are all looking for is a win here and now. The question is, can they get it? They're in a good spot. They're taking shots because they've got the buildings to give them the protection there. They can fight this off quite a little bit. EFSA and Team Kebab, they're still staying within it. They get the nade knock onto Blaston. And the question is here is, who's going to be the next team eliminated to give us this top 8? And that's going to be really crucial for a lot of these teams. Aren't really the big favorite teams here.
Snoopy all by himself up here trying to hold up the 2 remaining players from MEETYOURMAKERS. Nade over, but not quite far enough. You see the boys from Unity making the run on in as well. The circle is doing damage. Lassa is as well. And that's going to be both of the players from Unity out. We are making a way into points when it comes to placements, and Unity go down in 9th.
We got our top 8 teams remaining. AVANGAR still in it. It's been a little bit quiet from them. MYM only got 2 players left alive. Same for Wizards here. Reciprocity in a similar situation. There's many teams that are running out of players now as they come down to this, and the ones from We Need a Home are in such a great spot. Good circle position, haven't had to move, and they have the only compound left within that circle.
Calvin, desperate move on forward with the vehicle. Like said, he's all by himself, and not only that, but now he's isolated from his two teammates. Scoom and Shiv have the compound on the southern side, but there's no way in hell they're going to be able to do anything in the sense of Hex said. He's all by himself, but look at that, he has a nade. If that's thrown on the money, that could be a triple kill, because they're all stacked up. If this nade goes far enough, ooh, just a little too far from the side there. But look at this, the entirety of Looking for Team are coming in to join in on the action.
Smashbay tapping away, trying to get the shots off there. AVANGAR getting involved and finishing off Rubsy. That means only one player, MYM, is left alive, and it's Penguin backed up there with some of the Wizard players around. He's looking to do some damage onto Aros, but can't get the knock.
Penguin doing everything you can to stay alive. Aros, that nade might be right on the money. No. He just exactly got that medkit off. Fortunately for him, able to stay put. 3 guys alive still for AVANGAR. We know they want to be that 4 guy extra when they do these pushes. Now Hexeti going down as well. Unfortunately, we saw Shift go down earlier. Also, MEETYOURMAKERS taken out, but it's going to be up to Scoom and Shift trying to see if they can get themselves a good placement here in game number 4.
Yeah, Reciprocity just a little bit too split here. Not ideal for there as Hank said, he gets picked off. Snoopy, he went to be a little bit aggressive here, and now he's taking a few shots his way. He needs the backup from his team, and he doesn't really have any cover to sit behind. There's so many directions that he could get shot from here, and he's just looking for that opportunity to pop the medkit. T-Bone spraying up into it, but it's not going to be enough. AVANGAR are applying their pressure, and they want to try and close this out, but at the same time, Shiv and Scoop are also shooting down on them. There's action across the entire circle here, as MFS is just trying to slowly sneak in and avoid being hit.
Don't look at me, don't look at me, I'm just doing my own thing over here. But yep, very much so. T-Bone got to lift a little while longer with the help of Shiv and Scoom from up above. Coming in like guardians above him, securing him at least for now. But there are still 3 very hungry AVANGAR players just on the other side of it. Holy cow, this Nick could be dangerous.
No
One
way.
already got down 2. That's going to be the 3rd one. So Zero to secure himself the knock there. Oh my lord, that's gonna be all of them down, and now 3 of them with nades. MFS secures himself the final one in Laza, and what was is no more. Looking for Team completely blown to pieces.
Amazing teamwork there from We Need a Home. And if you're going to pick up one of these teams, well, they've just shown you which one to do potentially. By throwing those nades, good teamwork, understanding of their position, and look at where we are now. Top 5, 14 alive, and my oh my, We Need a Home. We're in such a good spot. Desperados, they've been engaged in some of these fights, but they're working their way back around. They're looking to try and close out the other 2 teams at the bottom before they try and engage the team that's got all the building and all the protection to keep them safe.
For them right now, being 4 guys alive is extremely important. They have a position, they're forced to take these open fights now, and their main concern right now, because they know there's no way in hell we can push down towards the compound. It's isolated, we can't do anything about it. We'll just have to hope that up here is going to be where the next circle goes. What they have to do right now, as you can see, what they do is we need to focus on the road. We need to take them out on the road. Scoom takes the long-range shots down towards Astra and down to under half HP, but unfortunately not able to get the knock.
Shiv's gone in with a car, looking to cause a bit of a distraction. Snoopy doesn't want to take the shot just yet. Not going to risk it, but Smashbay will. Smashbay will take him down and finish him off. Reciprocity got themselves in a good spot, but it's Wizards that's the next team down and out. They are eliminated as T-Bone can't stand strong for too much longer. It's up to Scoom to try and stay alive and hold on to this. As we watch Desperados move across, Snoopy's just tapping down. They're giving up all the room, all the positions. Scoom's gone down to the circle. We're our top 3 teams left alive. Desperados can't afford to be picked apart by everyone here because they've got a massive advantage over AVANGAR. Cold Menta, he's hitting some key shots now, but is it going to be enough? They're having to avoid this circle, the push in at the same time, and this is just ultimate chaos with the smoke there. Continuing to spray through. He believes he can get this done. A brilliant nade comes in to get the finish as well. This is 6 kills for AVANGAR, and they're not done yet. How much more can be done here? He's spraying through. He's got so much to be seen here. He keeps tapping up Cold. We're giving him further damage here. And Desperados, they had 4 players left alive, and it's just not enough. AVANGAR, they are not holding back. They've been unrelenting all day.
Desperado crossing the road like ducks trying to cross a highway, not at all working out the way that they wanted to knock. They haven't given up his position, probably going to go down to the nade. Now that could be the end of the team. We need a home. They sure are delivering. Spotting out one guy. That's going to be one guy finished off. And now in the end, Anoctive, all that's left, and down he goes as well. Polarook and the boys from We Need a Home secure Big chaos, and you see it here as well. So many teams were eliminated without really, not any, but without a lot of kills. Besiktas is one of those guys. We praised them as the Miramar gods, but in the end, they were in all sorts of trouble, and that's really what to think about, right? KEBAB'S, they had to fight with them, but they said, you know what? Nope, let's not do it. We'll take the long rotation around and see what ended up happening. KEBAB'S got themselves into a sixth place, and Besiktas ended up in, I believe, 9th or 10th.
Yeah, they backed away, right, and they played it smart, and it was Besiktas that actually went down before that. VENKONAS, they got a couple of kills in there, but again, low placing across the board, and this is what it comes down to. RECIPROCITY managing it in 8th overall, placement points 4, but no kills. And yet there was so much damage we were seeing being done by both Shiv and Scoob, it just wasn't meant to be. The KEBAB'S, who you mentioned, they're up there, they were within it. ELGIG, DESPERADO, AVANGAR, very strong performances from all in terms of kills, but it's We Need a Home who really got it done.
Yeah, what confused me a little with, I mean, I feel like RECIPROCITY kind of shot themselves in the foot with that really, really wide split. It's already an open area to play in, but I think what happened was that Shiv was wanting to rotate with Hexeti in a 2-2, and he might have been caught off on his rotation, couldn't make it all the way over there. All of a sudden, they're sitting 1-1-2, and you just cannot hold off 4 guys alone. I mean, that's just how it is. So Shiv goes down, no help available. Hexeti goes down, no help available. And then in the end, when Scoob and Shiv tried to, when Scoob and the other guy tried to make the push across, in the end, just did not work out for them.
And regardless of how some of these games have, gone, QUICKMATH are still able to hold on to that #1 spot. But AVANGAR, with consistently being in that top 3, top 4 in every, I think it was top 4 every single game bar maybe one. They're now up there in 2nd place with 108 points. That's a huge leap up from where they were at the beginning of today. Desperados, they've climbed their way back into it as well. Because remember, we saw them on day 1. They walked away with the 2nd match win. But after that, they haven't had any wins. They've just been going for a few fights. This was the time for them to turn things around.